Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Saturday, August 24th, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ ORIONNWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the San Francisco Giants versus the Seattle Mariners. Game number 2 in the set. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 10 minutes. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. And on the thumb, on the left, we have an ace for the Giants, Blake Snell. Just kidding. We tried. I was really going through many different options for photos. But again, sometimes you got to keep grinding it out, and you find Michael Conforto again. And on the right, we have our ace, George Kirby. But I tried for Blake Snell. I really wanted to do the picture for picture, but couldn't find a good enough photo of Snell. But we'll go with Conforto instead. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first for the San Francisco Giants. Congratulations, Dan Wilson, man. We needed that last night. Leading off for the Giants in the leadoff spot, shortstop, Tyler Fitzgerald. Batting second, playing first base, Lamont Wade Jr. Batting third, DHing this afternoon for San Francisco, Elliot Ramos. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, left fielder, Michael Conforto. Batting fifth, playing third base, Matt Chapman. Batting sixth, playing right field, Mike Yastrzemski. Batting seventh, playing second base, Nairo Estrada. Batting eighth, playing center field, Grant McCray. And batting ninth, catching today for the Giants, Kurt Casale. And on the mound for the Giants, with a 2-3 record, an ERA of 3.67. He's got Northwest ties to Seattle. It is Blake Snell. And I really wish I was able to format a Snell photo so we could have Snell and Kirby on there, but I think I found a pretty good one with Conforto. All right, baby. Should be a pitching duel here this afternoon. And now let's get into the starting lineup for your Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners for the first time in right field for the no-fly zone. Welcome back, Victor Robles. Batting second in center field, Julio Rodriguez. Batting third, playing first base, it's JT Justin Turner. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, completing the no-fly zone in left field, Randy Arozarena. Batting fifth, playing second base for Seattle, Jorge Polanco. Batting sixth, DHing tonight for Seattle, Mitch Haniga. Batting seventh, playing third base, Dylan Moore. Batting eighth, catching this afternoon for the Mariners, Mitch Carver. And batting ninth, the hero from last night, playing shortstop, Leo Rivas. And what a great story, playing 9 years in the minor leagues and finally getting a chance to come up to the big leagues and making a big play, and that's his first walk-off in his professional career. Nice job filling in for J.P. Crawford, Leo Rivas. And on the mound for the Mariners, our ace, 9-9 record, ERA of 3.40. It is George Kirby. Let's go, baby. I'm ready. And let's shoot for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall, and we're going to always be shooting for 100 in the donos on every single stream. And like I mentioned multiple times on the stream, make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health. It's the most important thing you can do every single day when you wake up. Addiction, depression, anxiety, these are things that not only I've gone through, but I know a lot of y'all are going through it now or have in the past. So if you feel like you're slipping into the darkness a little bit, make some minor adjustments to your daily routine and you can get back on track. I'm a great example of that. If you're not exercising, exercise. If you're not eating healthy, make an effort to eat healthier and make sure you're listening to 30 minutes of music every single day. Spend time with friends, pets, and family. And if you do those basic things, you'll come out the other side and you'll be able to win the day. All right, baby. We got San Francisco Giants, Seattle Mariners, game number 2 in the set. We're going to get started here in just about 4 minutes. And if you ended up watching last night, it was Dan Wilson's first game as manager after firing Scott Service. And with a 5-1 lead in the 8th inning, the Mariners somehow, some way ended up scoring 4 in the 8th and 1 in the 10th. And we ended up winning 6-5 in 10. And we got to make sure we carry that momentum and that electricity moving forward. Let's freaking go. And I'm really excited that we got Victor Robles in right field for the very first time with Julio in center and Randy in left. This will be the very first time that the no-fly zone has been constructed in full. So we'll see where it goes. And I'm ready. I imagine right now, obviously, Garver is in for Cal Raleigh, and a big reason that we're probably seeing Luke with the rest because he's been playing the last couple games for Justin Turner, and also normally he's going to be batting left, right? And we got Blake Snell on the mound, who's a left-handed pitcher. So even though we know Luke Raley can hit home runs off lefties or righties, I typically like going with guys that are hot, but we'll see. Again, I know with Scott Service, I can't speak for Dan Wilson because this is only his second game, but a lot of times when you have a left-handed pitcher, you're typically going to go for more of the right-handed batters, right? Unless you end up having guys that can switch like Polo and Cal Raleigh. I would love to see Luke, being in the starting lineup, but it's, we have so many pieces and everyone is starting to play, a little bit better. So there's always going to be 1 or 2 guys that are deserving that need to be in the starting lineup, but there's just not enough spots, and then obviously we got J.P. Crawford coming back. So we would assume that would mean Leo Rivas's status will go back a little bit. But for guys, Garver's only going to be playing catcher 1 out of every 4 games roughly in a set. Demo and Hollywood Josh Rojas are alternating and platooning at third, as well as you can put Demo in other positions at second base, shortstop, or even in the outfield or first base if you need an emergency player out there. So we'll see where it goes, but I'm definitely excited about Dan Wilson. I'm definitely excited about the direction of this Mariners team. And shout out to my guy Shohei Ohtani last night. Just when I thought the Mariners could be the only team that had a miraculous comeback, Shohei Ohtani joins the 40-40 club, the fastest out of any MLB player in MLB history. And he ended up hitting a walk-off grand salami to end up winning the game last night in extraordinary fashion. So shout out to my Mariners, shout out to my dad's Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani. They're doing big things over there. And hopefully we can get back on track. And hopefully we can get the Astros to lose a little bit more. Yesterday was one of the very first times where the Mariners won and the Astros lost. Thank you so much, Baltimore Orioles. But we need a little bit more than just one win for us. And then that same loss on the day, when the Mariners play, we need to make sure that we're getting wins and the Astros continue to lose. So that way we can go from 5 games back, 4.5, 4, 3, 2.5, 1, and then finally be even with Houston. And if we can be even with Houston, who knows? It looks like they're going to win the division. But if we get hot at the right time, I felt like last night might be a springboard win, especially when you ended up going into the 8th inning and it was 5-1. For a moment there, it felt like, here we go again, the same type of thing, regardless if we have Scott as manager or not. We're just playing like shit. We can't hit. Castillo gave up 3 home runs, but he did still have a high K number. I believe he had 9, but it pretty much was all for nothing because when you get 9 or 10 Ks, but you give up 3 homers, no one cares about your 9 Ks or your 10 Ks. So we'll see where it goes, but I really like the heart and the energy and the belief, and starting with Polo and going with Haniger and many, many others, keeping the rally going, as well as Justin Turner, and then we obviously had Leo Rivas at the very end in the 10th get us that walk-off. So I'm excited. Let's go, baby. George Kirby on the mound. Let's get it, baby. And we're wearing our Northwest greens, the teals. Let's get it. 9-9 record, 3.40 ERA. Let's go. And we need to make sure that we're bringing our A game, because after we have San Francisco, we got the Tampa Bay Rays, who are a similar team to the Giants and us, around 500 or slightly below. And then we're going to play the Angels, which we know we're better than, but they always play us tough, regardless if Shohei Ohtani or Mike Trout are playing or on that team or no longer on that team, since Ohtani is on the Dodgers and Trout is injured. All right, baby. Leading off for the Giants, shortstop, Tyler Fitzgerald. Batting second, first baseman, Lamont Wade Jr. And batting third, PHing for the Giants, Eliot Ramos. And on the mound, a guy that we were looking at, obviously, and during free agency. He's got Seattle ties, 2-3 record, ERA of 3.67 after coming back from the injury, Blake Snell. And obviously, when you normally hear of Blake Snell, you think, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 wins. And normally, you're going to get that high W count from Blake Snell, but, coming in with, not a lot of time in spring training definitely hurt him. And, when you're going from team to team, things are going to be a little bit different from going from the Padres to the Giants. Padres are a little bit better overall. So here we go, baby. The toast in the building. Captain Oreo in the building. Let's go. I saw that. I watched that Florida State game, and, Ugalele, the former quarterback from the Oregon State Beavers, had a good year with the Beavers last year. But watching that game, if you're number 10 in the country and we're going to have the playoff for the very first time with 12 teams and you're 10th, I know Georgia Tech is unranked, but they have an okay team, pretty good, but if you're number 10, you should have smoked that Georgia Tech team. So for me, Florida State is a pretender, and they might have, some players injured or their OC suspended and all these other things, but still, a big, big upset in Dublin, Ireland. And it was a cool matchup. It was a close game, and Georgia Tech kicked the field goal there at the very end. And I'm really happy college football is back. I absolutely love it. One of my favorite things to be able to evaluate and watch, besides the Mariners and then the NFL. Little dribbler, throw to first, safe. Well executed there by Fitzgerald. Bunt single, and what do we always say? For the Mariners, we be able to see more of this, the bunt single. And obviously, when I saw this Grant McCray throw, I was like, oh, yeah, we got to do that. And Tyler just takes a little piece of the Mariners' advice that I try to give with the bunt down third, safe at first. Next up, my second favorite player on this team, if not my favorite, first baseman Lamont Wade Jr. He would have made a fantastic Seattle Mariner if the Giants were able to let him go. 281 average, 5 homers, 22 ribbies. So a lot of those numbers don't really, come off the page like, oh my God. But he's a great leadoff hitter or a number 2 hitter, kind of like a J.P. Crawford. He's a lefty, he's crafty, and a guy, he makes good contact. He's a really good player. And again, I was very shocked that he ended up hitting a home run on Castillo in the first yesterday, and it almost led them to that Uncle Mo and that victory. But we got to make sure we keep Wade, settled in just a little bit. We don't want him going 3 for 4. Otherwise, we might lose this game. If we can keep it 1 for 4 or maybe 2 for 4 at the most, I think we'll be just fine. But who knows? Maybe we can even have a George Kirby day, and maybe he'll go 0 for 4 or 0 for 5 today. Let's go, baby. Yeah, crowd looks good. I mean, obviously the crowd is going to be a little bit different because it's a 1 o'clock game compared to, an evening game at 7. Big swing and a miss. Got him. Nice job by George Kirby. And the Seahawks are playing this evening at 7 p.m. So some Hawks fans and Mariner fans, obviously they share both. So some are going to be here watching this game, and some are probably at home watching the Mariner game, and they're getting ready to start drinking to go to the Seahawks last preseason game against the Browns at 7. So, but the crowd does look decently full, for a 1 o'clock game. And when you got George Kirby on the mound, why not, right? Next up is Elliot Ramos. But the vibes are good. I mean, it's we could have easily lost that game. And we're like, oh, God, here we go again. And then, you know what I mean? It's like that was a must win after getting our ass kicked by the Dodgers and a few other teams previous to that. So we really desperately needed that win yesterday, regardless if Scott was still managing or Dan was in there. And Elliot Ramos got hit in the shoulder. Uh-oh. Now we got runners at first and second. Mitch Garver, come on, my guy. You got to make sure you're calling a good game. And when you got George Kirby on the mound, the last thing that you want to see is Mitch Garver catching. But I guess it is what it is. And it bounces off the shoulder onto the mask of Garver and deflected behind into the backstop. Ramos looks like he's okay, though. Next up, left fielder Michael Conforto. Local kid. .237 average, 14 homers, and 53 ribbies from Conforto. He's on the thumb for the last 2 matchups. Oh, 1 pitch to Conforto from Kirby. Conforto, born in Seattle. 2014 first-round pick from the Mets. 10th overall from the Beavers. And obviously we know when the Beavers had their run, they were very, very good in college baseball. And you see quite a few of those guys sprinkled around the league, including Adley Rutschman there on the Orioles. Nice. That's awesome. My best friend, Justin, went to 2 out of the 3 games. I believe the Friday and the Saturday matchup when they were both, upsets where you ended up giving them the donut 2 games in a row. I believe it was 6-0, 4-0, something like that in both of those games. So obviously going to that particular series was awesome. And then I was able to go to the Orioles game on July 4th when we got the dub. So obviously I imagine that was a pretty good memory for you, Steven. Top of the first, 0-0. Giants and Mariners, runners at first and second with 1 out. 0-2 pitch from Kirby to Conforto. Pitch is outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Let's go, George. We need you, baby. I feel a little bad, though, George Kirby having to have Garver catching rather than Cal, because Cal is going to be able to call a better game. He's going to be able to catch the baseball better, and you're going to actually be able to get guys out, that are stealing second. I don't think Garver has that ability to get really anybody out. So we're definitely at a disadvantage with Garver at catcher. And pretty soon we won't have to worry about Mitch Garver because we'll have Harry Ford as well. And Ford is much better than Garv. So he's kind of a smaller catcher, kind of like a Buster Posey. But it'll give us one big catcher with Cal and his big dumper. And then we'll get a smaller catcher that's athletic, like in Harry Ford, where he might not hit as many home runs as Cal, but he'll get a lot of singles and doubles, and he'll give you that energy. So I'm definitely excited for the future. But let's hope that, Mitch Garver can at least bring something with the bat, to maybe make up for his defensive abilities here, behind the plate tonight. Let's go. Big emotional win yesterday. Dan Wilson's first win as a Seattle Mariner manager. Felt really good. Conforto, line drive. Wow, that one went from the 10th row all the way up to the 30th row, roughly. And right off the ricochet off the chair, Fan grabs it with his left hand. Nice job. Nice catch. I'm a little jealous of that catch there. Yeah, I believe you went to the same game than my friend did. Did you go on Friday night or Saturday night, Steven? Do you remember? 2-2 pitch. Incoming from Kirby to Conforto. But I know my buddy got me one of those miniature Seattle Mariner black bats as a souvenir. Usually we try to always get at least something when we go to the game. And the number one prize would obviously be a foul ball, or some type of memorabilia, a batting glove or something like that. But those are much harder to get, from the players for sure. Top of the first, 0-0 Giants and Mariners. Runners at first and second with one out. Kirby, 2-2 pitch from Michael Conforto. Pitch is high and outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. EJ in the building. What's good? Yeah, I mean, George had good matchups against Scooball, but we just couldn't, have enough offense when we played him. That was the best, pitching matchup of the year up to that point until we ended up playing Skeens. 3-2 pitch. And he walked him. Bases loaded for George. And George doesn't walk people. It's very rare for George to walk someone or, hit someone in the first inning. And I feel a lot of it has to do with Mitch Garver being behind the plate, not just George Kirby. Again, you're at a huge disadvantage when you got this backup catcher who normally doesn't play catcher. He can play first base and DH and these other positions, but he's kind of been thrown into that role. And he's not a terrible backup catcher. I mean, we had Sebi Zavala, and you might be better than him, but you're not better than Tom Murphy from last year. Tom Murphy was a lot better, obviously behind the plate, calling a game. He gave you energy and a lot of enthusiasm. He could actually throw guys out from the knees, and he was a better hitter than Garver also. So they should have been smart and kept Tom Murphy, even though it was a small name guy, but hell, I would have kept him and, use that Garver money towards a relief pitcher. If you're going to spend 10, 11 million a year, spend it towards a pitcher. And if he's a starter, just move him to the bullpen. So that way we have a solid 6, 7, 8th inning pitcher since we don't have Matt Brash this year. I mean, that's what I would have done. Bases loaded with one out, 243 average, 20 homers, and 62 ribbies. Arguably their best statistical player, Matt Chapman. And he's leading in almost every category for the Giants. Got to maintain his damage as well on Friday. Nice. Lauren in the building. What's good? Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Smash that like button for your boy. Let's try to get to 20 within the first hour. Line drive. And Randy Arozarena. Looks like he injured himself. Did he drop it? Randy is down with an injury. And he might have jammed his forearm there. He tried to catch that baseball. And we had the runner to tag up from third to home, 1-0 Giants. But as soon as we get Victor Robles back, now Randy goes down with an injury. And we were complaining yesterday with his lack of effort of trying to catch that, deep pop-up that went over his head that was catchable. And then his lackluster throw into the infield. And then now, is this sports karma weighing its head, saying, okay. And then you went for a great defensive play, and it looks like you might have jammed his forearm or elbow into the turf when he was trying to make that diving Superman catch. Great effort here by Randy. Jumping, diving, and he gets up, but he can't even throw the ball until right there, a second hesitation. So I'm not really sure if he just got the wind knocked out of him. Yeah, it looks like that's what it is. Wind knocked out of him, because I was going to say, it didn't look like he dislocated his elbow or broke his wrist or injured his forearm and twisted it. Didn't look like the ball landed on his hip. Didn't look like his knee twisted or his ankle twisted. I believe it's just a wind knocked out of you, but it was a pretty big one. When you Superman out 2-3 feet and land, it can definitely stun you. But it looks like he's okay. Him and Julio are chopping it up and laughing out there in the no-fly zone. There we go. All right. He's okay. Good. I don't like them doing that little cheap tag up. when our guy's on the ground. But I mean, we would have had to do the same thing. It's not like they can stop the play with 2 outs and there's bases loaded and they're just going to stand there and go down to one knee and look concerned for Randy. They're trying to win the game, so they got to tag up and do their business. But good effort by Randy Arozarena there in left field. Now, if he would have done that last night, maybe the game would have been a little bit closer than having that pop-up go over his head and that weak-ass throw into the infield. But luckily, he's okay, and I don't wish injuries on anybody. Top of the first, 1-0 Giants. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. Next up is Mike Yastrzemski, 1-0 Giants. And this is okay, because this is exactly what happened yesterday. Lamont Wade Jr. went yard, and it was 1-0 in the first. We just have to make sure it stays 1-0 in the first. 1-0 pitch to Yastrzemski, pitches outside. 2 balls and no strikes. And this, George Kirby on the mound doesn't look good. It kind of reminds me of the last start against Skubal, where, again, he seems a little bit out of whack, but I guess I would be out of whack too if I had Garver catching instead of my boy Cal Raleigh. So Yastrzemski, nice. There we go, Leo Rivas. Man, that was a J.P. Crawford catch. Good athleticism, good speed, and way to get that little blooper right there. That definitely could have brought in another run. Nice job by Leo Rivas. Hell yeah. Let's go. Next up on the mound for the Giants, their ace 2-3 record, ERA of 3.67. Didn't get a lot of Cactus League and, obviously in spring training, and it shows. And got a little hurt. Hasn't really been the normal Blake Snell record-wise and ERA-wise that we're used to on the Padres, but still a deadly assassin like Snell coming up to the mound. All right, Mariners, let's see who's up next here for us. Let's get it, baby. Leading off for the Mariners in the bottom of the first, right fielder for the very first time with Julio and Randy. Welcome back, Victor Robles. We missed you, man. We missed that energy and that swagger. Batting second, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. So thankful you're back in center field as well, and that high ankle sprain is almost 100%. We missed your defense out there in center, even though Victor did a hell of a job filling in for you. And batting third, first baseman Justin Turner. And I really believe in that first base right now. If they were going to keep Haniger at DH, it was either going to be Raley or Turner at first, but Turner is a righty. Snell is a lefty, so I'm pretty sure that's why that we don't have Luke Raley at first. Now, you could put Luke Raley at DH over Mitch Haniger, but Mitch Haniger has actually played pretty good in the last 2 to 3 weeks. So they want to make sure they're keeping the hot hand there. But, even though I miss Luke Raley, hopefully we'll get to see Luke fill in for Turner or for Haniger late in the matchup, and he can get at least an at-bat, and maybe he can end up getting a single, double, triple, home run, or key RBI to help us continue this win streak. All right, baby, here we go. Next up, right fielder, Victor Robles. And I feel the team is deep enough now where, we're always going to have 1 or 2 guys on the team that should be starting, and then we have another guy starting in there at DH or first base, or third base or whatever it may be. And we're going to have another one with J.P. Crawford coming back, and that'll obviously mean less time for guys like Leo Rivas and Demo, you would assume. Victor Robles drops a bunt. Wow, they got my message. I told them to be dropping bunts, but Victor, you can't get hit on the wrist when you're dropping the bunt. You got to be efficient. Now Victor Robles is hurt. Golly. Can we please stop getting injured? Fuck. Now Robles is wiggling on the ground. Did he actually get hit on the hand? Oh gosh, this isn't good. Look at him. He's wiggling on the ground like he broke a bone. And now he slams his hat into the turf and he is wincing in pain. Fuck, we just got you back. That's your first at bat. And now you're injured already? Hell. Anna from Mexico in the building. What's good? Hopefully he's okay. Come on, Victor, get up. Let's see, he drops the bunt down. Oh, got him on the finger. It was the his hand placement on the bat wasn't really the greatest there, and then it just so happened the baseball hit his finger. I hope it didn't break his finger. They're going to probably go do an X-ray and an MRI, and he goes to the dugout, so that might be the end of Victor Robles for tonight. We just got him back from an injury, and then his first at-bat trying to drop down the bunt, which I do like, and he ends up unfortunately getting hit on the finger, and hopefully it's not broken. Hopefully it's just, bruised and whatnot, because that's the last thing that we need when we're trying to make a rally. Having a guy that gives us so much positive energy and good vibes, just like Eugenio Suarez did at third base for us last year. Gosh, that sucks. Now we got to figure out who's coming in now for Victor Robles in right field. Like, how are we moving the guys over now? Now we got Luke Raley in right field. We might as well put him out there, right? Victor goes down. We want Luke Raley to play. Put him in there. Luke was leading off at first anyways. There he is. You ask and you shall receive. So the one thing that they tried to avoid, right, is going, lefty on lefty, right? And lo and behold, right, you could have just kept the lineup like it was yesterday, but they wanted to go, righty on lefty for Victor Robles in his first game back, and he ends up getting hurt. Well, who would have thought? And now we got Luke Raley in the box with an 0-2 count. Weird how that always, the toast, weird how that kind of plays out like that. We're talking about, well, we want Luke Raley to play. Then the sports gods are like, okay, we'll let him play right now. Well, we didn't want him to come in like this, not off of Victor Robles' injury. We were just wanting him to play starting regularly or filling in the seventh inning, for Turner or Haniger as like a pinch hitter, not because of a fucking injury after we saw Randy go down getting the wind knocked out of him, and now Randy going down with potentially a broken finger. Hopefully it's not broken. Yeah, there we go. And we just got to pray that Robles is not injured, because he's very important to this team. And so is this guy right here, first baseman, Luke Raley. Luke, hanging up. Diving catch. Conforto. And I put you on the thumb for a reason, my guy, because I know you can make those plays. My goodness, Michael. One away. Luke Raley got robbed of a base knock there in the outfield. Next up, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Bring that electricity, and you are overdue for a home run. You've been close in the last few games, and hopefully we'll get a home run either tonight or tomorrow. But I feel pretty good. Julio seems like he's getting closer and closer. And if for whatever reason we don't get tridents up from Julio today or tomorrow, we'll probably for sure get it against the Tampa Bay Rays. And I feel it's getting closer and closer for him to, get that off the schneid. He's due for his 12th home run. 258 average, 11 home runs, and 38 ribbies. Obviously much, much lower statistically speaking. Normally we're thinking about 30 home runs and 30 stolen bases with Julio. But Julio's got the potential, if he can learn, how pitchers are pitching to him. One day he could be a 40-40 guy or maybe a 50-50 guy. But again, you're not going to ever get to 40 or 50 home runs unless you figure out how pitchers are pitching to you. And if they're pitching you inside and jamming you, and you're not able to change your stance or your approach, it's going to be a long career for him where you're probably not going to make the Hall of Fame. You might make some All-Star games, but you're not going to be a Hall of Fame player. So if you want to be able to turn into a Hall of Fame player and be going to All-Star games, not just because you're popular, you got to be able to adjust. He's got to see the pitches better. He's got to see the baseball better. He's got to maybe modify his stance and understand, stop swinging at outside garbage, maybe take a step back and let more room inside. So that way, if pitchers are going to jam you inside, you're actually able to snap the wrist and your hips quick enough to be able to pull that baseball when they're pitching you inside to try to jam you out, either with a jam, a little pop-up or just a little slow roller dribbler. And if you notice, the good pitchers, the elite pitchers, and the shitty pitchers all pitch him inside. And they walk Julio Rodriguez with a pitch low at the knees. Seems like Blake Snell did not get the message, but we'll take that. Julio to first. Next up, first baseman, Justin Turner. Let's go, JT. And we just broke 20,400, so the next goal will be 20,500, and we need 98 subs to be able to get to that goal. We're at 20,402. We gained 10 subs last night. We had over 1,200 views, and we had a good dono goal, obviously, yesterday as well. Bottom of the first, 1-0 Giants. Runner at first with one out. Justin Turner batting third in the order here tonight. And hopefully he can get something going for us here. Let's go Big Red. Pitch is inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. 249 average, 7 homers and 41 ribbies. And even though that doesn't shoot off the page, I do like Justin Turner. I feel he gives good vibes like Victor Robles. They're not negative people. I feel that they uplift the rest of the team. And again, more time and more reps for Justin Turner, either at DH, first base, or wherever they can fill him in. And usually those will only be the 2 spots that he'll be playing, first base or DH. But if Haniger is going to continue to play good at DH, then it'll probably have to be Luke Raley or Justin Turner alternating at first base between right and left-handed pitchers. 1-2 pitch from Blake Snell to Justin Turner. That one chopped behind the plate foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Go, JT. And if you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. We want to get 20 in the first hour. We're at 8. We need 2 more to get to 10. So if you haven't smashed the like button, thank you so much. Now we're at 10. Thank you to those 3 people. And now next goal will be to 20. So we need 10 more within the next 30 minutes or so. Let's go. And then we want to try to hit 30 to 50 overall. And as the game goes on, later on in the afternoon, we'll get more people to show up. And especially if the game gets very, very close at the end, when we were down 5-1 and we ended up tying at 5-5, we definitely had a huge spike in the room as well. Bottom of the first, 1-0 Giants. Runner at first, Julio. 1 out, 1-2 pitch from Blake Snell to Justin Turner. Turner fouls that one back behind the plate to the T-Mobile bricks. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Come on, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go, JT. One-two pitch. Line drive towards third base. Fading foul. Let's go. Let's go. Got to get Dan Wilson. Win number 2. And I feel like yesterday's win will be like a springboard win for us. I mean, especially if we end up winning 2 out of 3 against the Giants or we sweep them. We're going to need that momentum when we play the Rays and obviously the Angels. And we're just going to have to just continue to try to look forward and take it 1 game at a time and hope that the Astros go on a losing streak and we can start a little bit of a winning streak of our own. 1-2 pitch from Snell to Turner. Turner crushes that one, but it's fading foul. Snell tried to jam JT there. Couldn't get his hips and his wrist turned fast enough, and it fades into foul territory. It was about a half second quicker. That would have been a home run. Bottom of the first, 1-0 Giants. Runner at first, 1 out. 1-2 pitch from Snell to Turner. Pitch is outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gained another sub just a moment ago. 97 subs to 20,500. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. 2-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Got him. Big punch out for Snell. We'll give him some love. First punch out for Blake Snell of the afternoon. 2-3 record, 3.67 ERA. He was that Padres ace, and now here on the Giants. Next up for the Mariners, Randy Arozarena. Let's go, Randy. 211 average, 16 homers, 42 ribbies. The biggest name in the trade deadline coming to Seattle. Was very hot in his first couple games, but lately has been a little cold and a little icy. So hopefully we can get him back to where he was a few weeks ago, because we're definitely going to need that, especially now since Victor Robles might have a broken finger, and hopefully we'll get an update, close to the end of the game or halfway through, saying that the x-rays were negative and he'll be okay. 1-1 pitch from Snell to Randy. Line drive to left field. And we leave Julio stranded at first. Let's go to the top of the second. 1-0 Giants. Next up for the Giants, second baseman in the 7-hole, Thairo Estrada. Batting second, center fielder, Grant McCray. Hopefully we get to see some bunts and no broken fingers. And batting third, catching for the Giants, Kurt Casale. Let's go, Mariners. Get it together. We got some college football on today. Obviously, great to see the college football season debut. Florida State and Georgia Tech played in Dublin, Ireland. Georgia Tech ended up winning 24-21 over the 10th-ranked Seminoles. And then we got a couple other games that are not ranked opponents that are on today as well. We got New Mexico on Montana State 10-0. SMU and Nevada are on at 5. Delaware State and Hawaii is the last game today, and that's on at 9 p.m. Pacific. I might check out that one a little bit just to kind of see what they're about. And then obviously in the NFL preseason, we're in preseason week number 3. This is the last week until we go to the regular season. Chargers 7, Cowboys 3. And then we got a couple final scores. Panthers 31, Bills 26. Packers 30, Ravens 7. Texans 17, Rams 15. Vikings 26, Eagles 3. Lions 24, Steelers 17. And then we got a game of the Giants and Jets at 4:30 on NFL Network. And then the Seahawks and the Browns at 7 on NFL Network to end the preseason for Saturday. And then we're going to have games, 3 of them tomorrow. Titans Saints at 11. Cardinals Broncos with Bo Nix at 1:30. And then Patriots Commanders at 5 will be the last preseason game of 2024. Let's go, George. We need you, baby. Top of the second. 0-1 pitch to Estrada. Pitches outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kirby definitely not, in his feelings here today. Definitely, I feel like those last couple matchups against Screwball kind of messed with his confidence a little bit. Wasn't really getting a whole lot of run support either. And it doesn't help when you have Garber catching instead of Cal. A little blooper, and Estrada is safe over Polo's head and in between Julio. Nice base knock by Estrada. Single to center. Little bloop single. 5-game hitting streak for Estrada. Next up, center fielder Grant McCray. Pitches outside for a ball, 1-0 count, 241 average, 1 homer, 2 ribbies for Grant McCray this season. Top of the second with a runner at first. McCray, line drive into right field to Luke Raley. Not a good start here for George Kirby here in the top of the second. Top of the first wasn't very good either. Nice job by Grant McCray. Love the photo, dropping the bunt down. Next up, catcher Kurt Casale. I mean, it is possible still that Kirby gets fucked up like this, even if Cal is catching. But Cal is a better game planner, than obviously George Garver or Mitch Garver. And as far as just being able to not only call a good game, but to be able to catch the pitches. Cal is more experienced, obviously, as being one of the top 3 catchers in baseball compared to Garver, who's probably a top 60 catcher. So. Runners at first and second with no outs in the top of the second, 1-0 Giants as Casale shows bunt. And all the talk about bunting is carrying over, but it's not carrying over to the Mariners. The Giants are listening, though. We'll see if Casale can convert here on his bunt attempt to move the runners over. We need a double play. We need to get out of this. Come on, Kirby. Let's go, George. 0-2 pitch. Pitch is high and inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Big swing and a miss. Got him. Down goes Casale. Nice job, George. Second K for George Kirby. Next up is Tyler Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, line drive to Randy. And that's going to bring in a run, 2-0 Giants. Come on, George. You got to be better than this. You can't just be depressed that Garver is catching. Come on, my guy. Nice base knock there by Tyler Fitzgerald to get the RBI. 2-0 Giants with only 1 out with runners at first and second. And now we're getting into the hot part of the lineup for the Giants. Now first baseman Lamont Wade Jr., who could definitely get a home run or RBI in this particular situation. Probably not so much home run because he doesn't have that many this season, but he did get one yesterday. And sometimes Uncle Mo, has mysterious ways where you get guys that have under 10 home runs for the season, but they sometimes will go back-to-back late in the year once they kind of find a groove. But he is a great singles hitter. And again, he's only got 5 home runs for the season, but he just got number 5 yesterday. So hopefully we can end up getting a double play here to end the inning. 0-1 pitch from Kirby to Wade. That one chopped foul behind the count 0-2. Yeah, but everyone is shitty sometimes. Castillo, Miller, Wu, Kirby, Gilbert. I mean, we've been watching this team all year, and every pitcher, regardless who you think is number one, and whether it's Wu, Kirby, or Gilbert, even those 3 guys have gotten fucked up this year, like bad, right? And obviously having Miller and Castillo get fucked up is a little bit more normal. We assume that they're going to get fucked up a little bit more, just based off, their technique. And it just seems like statistically Castillo's numbers have gone downhill every year since he's been here. And it has. And I think with Miller, is just inexperienced, and he's just not as good as Wu, Gilbert, and Kirby. He does have a good skill set. He deserves to be a part of this rotation for sure. I think even Bryce is better than Castillo, in my opinion, and I've said this since almost the beginning of the year. I think Castillo, even though he was the opening day pitcher for the last 3 years, he's the worst in the starting lineup. He's 5th. Give me Bryce over him at 4, and then obviously give me Wu at the top, with Gilbert and Kirby, and you can pretty much interchange Wu, Gilbert, and Kirby. Throw to 3rd, and he is safe. Garver can't throw anybody out. But, I mean, as of late, it seems like Wu might be our best, and then Gilbert, and then Kirby. And obviously Kirby's had to go against Skubal twice, and obviously also too, George kind of gets the raw end of the deal where he ends up getting Mitch Garver more than any other pitcher in the starting five besides maybe Castillo. So. But a big reason, with Wu and Gilbert, maybe being the top two at this moment is like, they typically get Cal. So, that has something to do with it too. It just, because like imagine if George Kirby never had Mitch Garver all year, do you think his record would be 9-9? Hell no. He would have at least 2 more wins, you would think, right? So maybe even more than that. We already know the hitting has been bad, but that shows you the impact, of Cal Raleigh and how important he is to this team. He is the most important player on the team, not only in 2024, but beyond, for everything that he brings. Ramos into right field to Luke Raley. The damage is done, but hey, at least it's not 4-0 and it's only 2-0. But Cal's a great hitter. He can do from the left side and the right side. He's the best clutch hitter in the 7th inning and beyond. He can throw guys out defensively. He's a top 3 catcher offensively, top 3 catcher defensively. He's the best in home runs. Every single year since he's come in as a rookie, he's going to lead the major leagues in home runs in 2022, 2023, and now in 2024. And you don't see things like that happen that often. But the best part about Cal is his leadership. To be able to coach up those pitchers. And again, if we had 2 Mitch Garvers, catching, those pitchers' numbers would be a hell of a lot lower, and we wouldn't be considered top 3, pitching staff. We would probably be considered like top 10 just because of the names, but they wouldn't be able to do as much talent if you didn't have a catcher helping them out. So shout out to my boy Cal. I don't know if we're going to see him pinch hit later in the game, but hopefully we do, because we might need him to be able to get a home run to be able to come back here tonight. All right, we're down 2-0. Let's go to the bottom of the second. And hopefully Seattle can get something going here within the first 4 innings, and we can get at least a run to stop the bleeding. Next up for the Mariners in the 5-hole, second baseman Jorge Polanco. Batting second, DHing for Seattle, Mitch Haniger. And batting third baseman Dylan Moore. And obviously Dylan going from second base and stealing third was huge. And then we had Leo Rivas get that nice RBI, but we had 6 consecutive hits, starting with Polo in the 8th. And it felt good. I'm trying to think of the last time that we got 6 consecutive hits in a row, and I can't remember the last time that we have. That was a very special game for Dan Wilson in his first game as a Seattle Mariner manager. All right, Polo, let's go. You're a switch hitter as well. You can hit from the left and the right, just like Cal Raleigh. Come on, baby. Let's go. One pitch into the knees and into the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike from Snell to Polo. And Snell, 2-3 record, 3.67 ERA. So this isn't a guy that's like 10-5 with a 2.90 ERA. Like, this isn't the same type of pitcher that, maybe the Mariners saw last year or the year before on the Padres. So he should be able to, at some point, hopefully slow him down. But we haven't done it just yet. Pitches inside, and he walked him. Second walk by Snell. We'll take it. Polo to first, baby. Next up for the Mariners, DHing Mitch Haniger. Let's go, Hanny. You weren't good enough to be the starting right fielder, but again, as a DH, you've been pretty good. in the last 3 weeks. Keep that momentum going. Keep that Uncle Mo flowing. 0-1 pitch from Snell to Haniger. Popped up. Popped up to second. 1 away. Estrada is there. 1 out. Next up for Seattle, third baseman, Dylan Moore. Come on, Mariners. Let's go, baby. And if you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. 9 more to get to 20. Let's go, baby. One-zero pitch from Snell to Moore. Dropped it right there in the bucket for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike to Demo. Career high 62 hits this season for Dylan Moore. Kind of like a Sam Haggerty, a platoon type of player that can play in multiple positions and use his legs for that speed, just like Leo Rivas. Pitch is low at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike on Dylan Moore. Let's go, baby. Two-one pitch. Not one chop foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Demo. Come on, Mariners. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Demo. Snell, 33 pitches in, 2-2 pitch. Crushes that one foul back to the T-Mobile bricks. Keep grinding out this at-bat, Demo. Let's go, Dylan. Oh, Polo goes. Throw to second. Safe. There we go. 4th stolen bag for Polo. Way to get us in scoring position there. Nice job, Jorge. Your defense still might be a little suspect, but your hitting and your base running have been a little bit better as of late. 4 for 6 in stolen bags this year for Polo. Three-two pitch to Demo. And at the knees, and that's a walk, baby. Hell yeah. We'll take another walk. Next up in the 8-hole, catcher Mitch Garver. We don't really expect anything defensively out of you, so you have to go 1 for 4 or 2 for 4 today to, obviously make up for the fact that we don't have Cal Raleigh in there and that you're probably not going to throw anybody out, as a catcher on the knees at first, second, and third. I mean, if you really want to get on the Mariners' good side, hit a home run. Right? If you end up hitting a home run or getting a 2-run RBI to make this game 2-2 or 3-2, that'll get the Mariner fans out of their seat. And again, we need a reason why to cheer you. Let's go. Come on, Mitch. I mean, I guess it could be worse. He could only have 2 home runs right now, or 4 or 5 or 6. So I guess on the bright side, at least he's at 12. And, we don't have a lot of guys that really hit a whole lot of home runs this season, but it's been a minute since Garver has done anything significant in the box. Come on, Garv. All right, they're going to have a little bit of a mound visit here. And this was probably the biggest play that he made when we were down 1-0. Polo got a single, and then he ended up going off for a walk-off in late April, early May. But since then, hasn't done a whole lot. 2-1 pitch. Pitch out the knees. Good eyes by Mitch Garver. 3 balls and 1 strike. And hell, we'll take a walk. We'll take a hit by a pitch. We don't even need you to necessarily swing. Come on, Garv. Three-two pitch. Oh, stands off the plate. Takes a little stare down at Polo at second. Three-two pitch. Guard pops it up a mile. Hopefully that goes out of play. And it does. Good souvenir for a fan there. Back about 15 rows back. Come on, baby. Win it for Dan. Three-two pitch from Snell to Garver, and he walked him. Hell yeah, bases loaded with 1 out. Shortstop Leo Rivas. You could drop a bunt down right here and that could score 1 or 2. I know it's kind of crazy, but, this is a guy that can drop down the bunt effectively. And he's been hot as of late. He might be able to get you a little bloop single right over the second baseman or the shortstop, and that could bring in a couple. We might be able to tie the game up here. Come on, Rivas. Let's go, Leo. 288 average, 0 homers and 7 ribbies. Fouls that one back to the T-Mobile sign. 0-1 count. Spent 9 years in the minor leagues in the farm system. Finally got a chance to come up because of the J.P. Crawford injury, and he's definitely making the most of his time as a platoon player here for the Mariners. Let's go, baby. Zach in the building. What's good? Yeah, I think every Seattle Mariner fan was jumping for joy. Again, there was some good moments that we had with Scott, in the 9 years. But if you only go to 1 playoff in 9 years, and on top of that, if you're losing a lot of games and a lot of fans are not agreeing with your decision making, with keeping a pitcher in there too long or taking him out too early or putting in the wrong pinch runner or pinch hitter, there's a lot of questionable, moves that he would make on a daily basis that would make a lot of us fans question him. So I feel with Dan Wilson coming in, it was the best thing that we could have asked for being Seattle Mariner fans. We just want to be able to move forward, and Seattle fired all their coaches this year. In 2022, the Mariners, the Kraken, and Seahawks made the playoffs. In 2023, none of them did. And now in 2024, all of them fired their coaches. So everybody is starting over in Seattle. 1-2 pitch. Pitch is inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. But I think that's one thing. And also, I don't think a lot of us liked his personality. Scott was more of like a player's manager, and he was trying to be like almost like a friend. We would rather have someone that is a kind of a firecracker like Lou Piniella. We would respect someone more like that to be able to voice their opinion. Check swing, did he go? Wow, Rivas went around. 2 away. That's brutal. But again, we would rather have someone that, had that Lou Piniella kind of vibes. And, even though Dan Wilson might not be Lou Piniella and he might be a little reserved, right now, but it seems like, he'll be an overall better aura and vibe guy moving forward. And we got Edgar Martinez in there also. So not only did we gain Dan Wilson as manager, we gained Edgar Martinez as hitting coach for the rest of the year. And I imagine he'll be the hitting coach moving forward as long as, Edgar's wife and family are okay with it. So, and maybe we can get Ichiro back in the building on a regular basis too. That could definitely help. Next up for the Mariners, Luke Raley with bases loaded and 2 outs. Come on, Luke. You could definitely use a wild pitch to bring in a run here. It was kind of a fluke strikeout, though, because he did a check swing, but he didn't really fully check. Like, it looked like he went around like 40%, but it was good enough for them to call him out, you know? Hell, Ichiro could hit better than anybody on the team right now, even at 50. 1-1 pitch. And it's not like we need Ichiro as a player, but just like as a, you know, like a batting coach, you know, someone to give a little bit of tips on how to be able to, you know, position your body and your hands properly. It's like riding a bike. You're not going to forget. 2-1 pitch from Snell to Rayleigh. Pitch is outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Well, you clearly don't know Ichiro then, Zach. Bases loaded, bottom of the second, 2-0 Giants. 2 outs, 3-1 count from Snell to Luke Rayleigh. Come on, Luke. I disagree. You think if Ichiro had his choice, he would have stayed in Seattle for his whole career? You think he really wanted to go to the Yankees and the Marlins? It wasn't his decision to leave. You need to do some reading, my guy. 3-2 pitch from Snell to Rayleigh. Pitch is outside. There we go. And we'll take a freebie. There we go. We'll bring that one in. Next up, Julio Rodriguez with the bases loaded. Let's go, baby. I actually was at the game where Ichiro was there in his last game as a Mariner before he went to the Yankees. I was there in Seattle. Bottom of the second, 2-1 Giants. Bases loaded with 2 outs. And let's see if we can end up tying this game up or possibly making a big play here with Julio. We don't even need him to go for a grand salami, which would be fantastic. He is overdue for a home run. But hopefully we can get it done here. First pitch strike. Change up outside the plate. Smash towards first base and foul. 0-1 count. Gained another sub. 96 to go to 20,500. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. We need 9 more to get to 20. We're at 11. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Now we're at 12. 8 more to go to get to 20. Pitch is low at the knees. 2-1 count to Julio Rodriguez. The game could open up here for the Mariners. Let's go, baby. Come on, Julio. Bring that electricity, baby. 2-1 pitch. Pitch is outside. 3-1 count. Now Julio doesn't get greedy, trying to be a hero. He can just take a walk, and then the game will be tied 2-2. And then we can end up having JT up after him. Maybe continue the rally. Let's go. Be smart here, Julio. Be smart. 3-1 pitch. Snell to Julio, and it's a walk, baby. Yes. Nice job, Julio, by not swinging at that garbage. Good job. 2-2 Giants and Mariners. Hell yeah. Let's go. Way to bring that electricity. Next up, first baseman Justin Turner. Hell yeah, let's go. It's crazy. We got no hits, but the game is tied 2-2. Hit by pitches and a bunch of walks. We'll take it. You never know what you're going to get in a baseball game. JT fouls that one back, behind in the count 0-2. Can we extend this a little bit longer? Can we get one more hit to take the lead? I mean, it's nice enough that we were down 2-0, that we got it to 2-2, but sometimes the luck will run out, and it will probably run out here, and there it is. Big swing and a miss. Snell strikes out JT. We leave 3 stranded, but we score 2, and that's what matters. You know, we sometimes aren't going to be able to get everything all in one inning, but at least a good sign that Snell is not the same type of Snell that we are used to when he was on the Padres, when he would be like 10-5 with an ERA of 2, and you're not getting anything on him. You know, he definitely doesn't have a lot of control. He's walked a lot of guys. I mean, hell, the game is tied 2-2. We don't even have a hit. So far, so good. We actually have a chance against Blake Snell and the Giants, and this would be a big, big win. Because, again, yesterday I felt was the biggest win for the Mariners in the season. It was a springboard win, and again, thankfully, we're not playing someone at the top, you know, like the Dodgers or Phillies or, you know, Yankees or Orioles or, you know, even the Astros right now. We already got beat up, you know, by quite a few teams, and we need to be able to gain our bearings and just try to take it one game at a time until we get, you know, kind of comfortable with everything, and we also find out if Victor Robles has a broken finger or not. But nice effort there by Seattle to take advantage of the wild pitching by Snell, and the game now is tied up at 2, and we feel much better now than we did in the first inning. Let's go to the top of the third, 2-2 Giants and Mariners. Next up for the Giants, 0-for-0 with a base on ball, left fielder Michael Conforto. Batting second, 0-for-0 with an RBI, third baseman Matt Chapman. And batting third, 0-for-1, right fielder Mike Yastrzemski. Jaden in the building, what's good? Good comeback. Normally it takes us a long time to come back, so we'll take that. Top of the third, 2-2 Giants and Mariners. That one fouled back. 1-1 count to Michael Conforto. One pitch from Kirby to Conforto. Pitch is inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. He's batting .237, 14 homers, and 53 ribbies here in 2024. One of their sleeper players in the lineup. In the cleanup spot here tonight in left field. 2-1 pitch from Kirby to Conforto. Takes a strike looking. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, George. Let's bring it, baby. Bring back the Seattle Grays. Two-two pitch. Right down the middle, chopped foul by Conforto. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fantastic comeback, man. That was probably the game of the year for us. Line drive. Wow, Justin Turner, who says he can't make a defensive play at 39 years old. The oldest positional player in MLB at 39, and he can still make plays just like he did when he was on the Dodgers for 9 years. Nice job. Red turn. Nice job, Red Beard. Nice job, JT. Fuck yeah. Good awareness by our boy, Justin Turner, baby. I like that. Nice job. Great defense there. Next up, arguably their best player on the Giants, Matt Chapman, leading in almost every statistical offensive category for the team. .243 average, 20 homers, and 63 ribbies for Matt Chapman. .2-0 pitch. That one pop foul. 2 balls and 1 strike. And if you're just hopping into the room, if you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Help us try to get to 20. And then obviously we'll try to get to 30 at least before the stream ends. And we still need a few more to be able to get to that number. 8 more to go to hit 20. Big swing and a miss to Chapman. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Seven more to go. Thank you so much. That one chop foul. Pitch count is wild. We're in the 3rd inning and Kirby's at 52 already. Three-two pitch from Kirby to Chapman. Slow roller. And it stays fair. Shit. X-rays were negative on Victor Robles. It just came out from the Mariners' social media, so that's good. So at least that the finger is not broken. They went into the back to do the MRI or the X-ray, and it did come up negative. So we should see Victor Robles back, not tonight, but hopefully, within the next few games. Drops down the bunt. Safe. And see how effective it is when you can drop down a bunt, regardless if it's, with 1 out or no outs or with 2 outs. This is something that is missing from the Mariners' overall repertoire. And we need to be bunting more. Because if you notice, most teams that bunt and that are good at it, it seems like they end up getting to first base more times than not, as long as the bunt is laid down professionally, and it's not just a crappy bunt popped up in the air or right to somebody at first or third, and if you can time it just right, it's just as deadly, as being a great singles hitter. And sometimes if the throw is wild to first, you can even get a double out of a bunt. I hope the Mariners one day will implement that as a part of their strategy, game in and game out, because they're definitely hurting themselves by not doing it as much. Jaden, I appreciate that. Every like matters. And again, we'll be shooting for 30 likes and obviously 100 on the donos on every single stream. And we'll see if we get some people to come through to show some love on the dono train. Top of the 3rd, 2-2 Giants and Mariners. Runners at 1st and 2nd with 1 out. 1-0 pitch from Kirby to Estrada. Estrada into right field to Luke Raley, but he's there. 2 away. Throw to 3rd to keep the runners in check at 1st and 2nd. Next up, center fielder for the Giants, Grant McCray, coincidentally throwing down the bunt. L.A. Lou, appreciate you, man. Just when I thought the Mariners couldn't have, any more excitement in their game, I ended up, winding down yesterday And, obviously my dad's been a Dodger fan since the 50s. You've been a longtime Dodger fan. And, seeing that Shohei ended up joining the 40-40 club with the walk-off grand salami in amazing fashion. And again, he could be a guy that could get to 50-50. And, you're not really seeing players doing what Shohei Ohtani is doing. And not only that, he is the youngest, fastest player to be able to get to 40-40 out of the 6 players that have ever done it. And I don't think that'll be the last time that we talk about Shohei Ohtani for years to come. Him and Aaron Judge are just on a different type of stratosphere, different type of planet than everyone else. And it was amazing to be able to go back and watch a lot of the Dodger highlights. And I try to watch almost every game as much as I can, unless the Dodgers are on the same time as the Mariners. And sometimes I watch both games at the same time, and sometimes I just have to watch one and catch up later. But awesome finish yesterday for your Dodgers and Shohei. I know my dad was happy. Top of the third, 2-2, Giants and Mariners. Runners at first and second with 2 outs. George Kirby on the mound, 60 pitches already here in the third. 2-1 pitch to McRae. Pitches inside at the chest. 3 balls and 1 strike. Learn from the Giants, Mariners. Take note, Dan Wilson and Edgar Martinez. You start implementing the bunt 2 to 4 times a game. That could be 2 to 4 more hits that we could get rather than, not at all. 3-1 pitch to McRae. Right up the middle, line drive. Rivas is right there. We leave 2 stranded for the Giants. I like that. Good game. Let's go. We're knotted up at 2. And obviously we know L.A. Lou wants us to beat up the Giants because that's a rival to the Dodgers. But, the Giants are not really in the same category as L.A. Obviously, we know the Padres and Diamondbacks are sniffing, at their heels. And obviously, we know the Dodgers are one of the best teams in baseball. But when it comes to the playoffs, anything can happen. And we've seen the Padres and the Diamondbacks get hot in the last couple of years. So they may not, have a big, record at the end of the year. But as everyone knows in sports, whether it's basketball, baseball, football, or hockey, sometimes it's not the best team that wins it all. Sometimes it's the team that's hot and healthy at the right time. And if you can get hot and healthy going into the playoffs, sometimes you could be a wild card team or an underdog and go a little bit further than people think. But with that being said, you look at the Dodgers and you look at the Phillies, that seems like the cream of the crop in the National League. Yes, you got the Brewers and you got the Braves, but I don't really feel that they're going to be able to make a deep run. I think you would have more than likely, if the Padres can get healthy with Tatis and Yu Darvish, the Padres, I think, could match up to the Braves and Brewers and beat them. And I think the Padres could give everything that they have to the Dodgers and the Phillies. And I imagine if you're a Dodger or Philly fan, if you can avoid the Padres, I imagine that would be something that you would want to do unless you just want to take them on and hope that you win. But that could be like the sleeper team that maybe goes a little bit further than people think. But again, Dodgers and Phillies are the 2 best. We'll see if they end up representing in the National League Championship Series, game, or we end up getting somebody else to join the party. But you would think if they can stay healthy enough, it should be more than likely either the Phillies or the Dodgers representing the National League. And then in the American League, it's a crapshoot. Yankees, Orioles, Guardians, Royals, Twins, Mariners, Astros. I don't think we really know, who's coming out of the American League. We know, for a while it was the Yankees, the Orioles, and the Guardians as the best 3. But then you got the Astros and the Mariners as obviously underdogs, and the Astros better than us right now. And then you got the Twins and the Royals, that might be able to do a little bit, but it seems like every team that seems like they're a playoff team, they're still missing something. Like they either can't pitch, they can't hit, the bullpen stinks. There's always like something that's kind of missing from that team being fully complete. But you could pretty much say that about every team in baseball, even the top teams that are ranked 1 through 5. They still have something that they're working on, but they have enough depth to kind of cover it up for the time being. Bottom of the third, 2-2 Giants and Mariners. Next up is Randy Arozarena. Come on, Randy. Big swing and a miss. Down goes Randy Arozarena. He looks like a completely different player. I don't know what's going on with him. He had a Dodger pitcher that ended up talking shit to him, and he seemed a little frazzled. He's been kind of lackluster with the focus in left field. It's like we brought you here from Tampa for you to be able to bring the good energy and vibes like Victor Robles does. But the problem is like you're not hitting like Victor Robles. And lately, your defense has been suspect. You had that pop-up fly out that went over your head that you could have caught. Then you had a lazy throw into the infield. Now you had a good effort play in defense today where you had the wind knocked out of you, right? But I don't know. I'm just hoping that Randy can get the focus back because the first couple weeks, it was electric. But since then, he's been pretty cold, getting to a point where maybe we have someone else come in at left field and give him a day off or maybe make him a DH. But I don't know if I would even want him at DH because right now he can't really hit. But if he keeps playing like this, we might have to throw Luke Raley in left field for a couple games until he can get back on track. I mean, I would love to have Randy out there, but I don't want him out there if he's a liability at defense and offense. Kind of like Hollywood Josh Rojas, at third. He was good at the beginning of the year, but lately he's been a little bit of a liability defensively and hitting-wise, and that's why you've seen Demo at third more than normal because Rojas is not really as reliable as he was early on. Little slow roller from Polo, throw to first, 2 away. Yeah. The health is a big part of it, and the Dodgers pitchers, it seems like, get hit with the most injuries out of any staff and out of the 30 teams. But the good thing for the Dodgers, they have enough where it's like if they have 3 guys with season-ending injuries, they still got 4 other 5 guys or a farm guy they can bring up that can at least keep the team afloat. And it might not be as good as that main starter, or a guy like a Walker Buehler out for the year, or a guy like Kershaw missing a good chunk of the year. But it seems like you always have one. But the problem is, as soon as you get one healthy, then another one gets injured. And again, that's kind of the story with the Dodgers as of late. But at least for you guys, the hitting is magnificent. And, when you got Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez, there is not a better starting 4 in baseball. And also 5 through 9 have actually stepped up quite a bit when those other first 4 have had off nights. So sometimes it'll be Gavin Lux or Max Muncy. You never know what you're going to get from those type of guys. And it seems like they're definitely gunning for the pennant this year. Pitch is inside at the dirt. Did he go around? Yes, he did. Down goes Haniger. End of the 3rd inning, and we're still knotted up here at 2. All right, let's see who's up here next for the Giants. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. My lead mod has the day off here today, so I got to handle those duties on my own. Next up for the Giants, 0 for 1 with a K, catcher Kurt Casale. Batting second, 2 for 2 with a run and an RBI, shortstop Tyler Fitzgerald. And batting third, maybe my favorite player here on the Giants, first baseman Lamont Wade Jr. Would have made a great Seattle Mariner at the trade deadline, a great leadoff or number 2 hitter. It kind of reminds me of J.P. Crawford. J.P. Crawford, a better defender, but Wade obviously still can defend and hit, and it just seems like a good person to have on the team. And we'll see what Wade will do here in this at-bat in the top of the 4th. And make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health, which I go over multiple times in the stream. Addiction, depression, anxiety. These are things that not only have I gone through, but I know a lot of y'all have gone through these things in the past or currently right now. So if you're slipping a little bit into the darkness and feeling a little depressed or have anxiety, make some minor adjustments to your daily routine. And this really worked for me. I'm a great example of it. If you're not exercising, exercise. If you're not eating healthy, eat healthier. And again, listen to 30 minutes of music, spend time with your friends, your family, and your pets. And if you do these basic things, it can get you back on track. You can hold yourself accountable, push a little bit, and then you'll be a happier person at the end of the day. And obviously, the better, you're doing, obviously, with the food intake and the exercise, not only you can lose weight like me, I've lost like 90 pounds in over a year, but you look good, you feel good, you play good, you perform good, and your overall vibe is better. And again, sometimes we eat when we're depressed and we're sad. So if you can get to a point where you're getting that exercise, you get the vitamin D from the sun, you get out in nature a little bit. And I got my Paisley pup, so we always go out for about an hour and a half to 2 hours every day, 7 days a week. I don't expect everyone to do what I'm doing. But again, if you do get a chance to get outside, and eat a little bit healthier, it can really make all the difference in your life. And I'll be honest, in this last year, it's probably been one of my best years of my entire life, going from 41 to 42, even though I don't look it. And again, it's probably the lowest weight that I've been at since high school in over 22 years. So again, you can do it, but you just have to hold yourself accountable and push. Top of the fourth, popped up, 4 Mariners converge. And Demo and Jorge Polanco almost bonk heads, but they catch it. 1 away. We need some better communication out by the defenders there. Dylan's like, I got it. And Polo says, fuck it. Next up, shortstop, Tyler Fitzgerald, 2 for 2 with a run and an RBI. Come on, Mariners. Yeah, and again, I feel with Edman and Kiermaier, from the Cardinals and the Royals, I mean, the numbers don't really pop off the page, but sometimes you can just get role players, like a Kike Hernandez, who is one of my favorite players on the team, just because, he's not going to have a lot of home runs and not a lot of hits, not a lot of RBIs. He might be batting 200 to 220 for a good chunk of the year. But every once in a while, put in the right position, Kike can be a hero. He's a utility player that can play every position on the field, and he can get you that big RBI or that unexpected home run or that big single that you need in that crucial time, and it can start a rally or end a rally. And I like guys like that. And not everyone is going to be a Shohei Ohtani or a Mookie Betts or a Freddie Freeman, a Hall of Fame player, or a guy like Teoscar who's trying to be a Hall of Fame player. And then you got guys like Gavin Lux and Max Muncy that are going to do their roles. And it's nice to be able to have some of those other role players that might not be consistent, but once in a while they'll step up and be big for the team, either offensively or defensively. Big punch out there by George Kirby. But also, too, when you go from those teams, the Cardinals and the Royals, and you join the Dodgers, right? Once you end up, joining a team like that, there's an accountability factor. Same thing with like the Yankees. Like you might be on another team and your team might be a playoff team or pretty good. But once you go to one of the upper echelon teams, there's a standard that you need to withhold. And whatever you were doing on the Cardinals and Royals now doesn't matter. Now you're in LA. They're trying to win the pennant. So you can't, be lazy. You got to give it all you got. And you got to make sure you're giving everything every single game. Otherwise, you might get replaced by someone that's on the roster. So, I feel like it raises their effort level because you're a part of something special. Not that being on the Cardinals and Royals, you're not, but with the Dodgers, if you understand the Dodger history, it's a little bit different, especially adding Shohei Ohtani, obviously, and Teoscar Hernandez. It seems like, this team could definitely win a pennant, and they can definitely win multiple pennants, and it might start this year. That would make my dad happy and LA Lou happy. And another reason I like Kike is his vibes. He's always going to be funny. He's going to keep things light. He's going to be a good teammate for the other guys in the dugout. He's always going to make things fresh. And sometimes, when you have a guy that's not a 300 hitter, he's not hitting 30 home runs, you need him to be that good emotional support kind of guy. And that's exactly what they get out of Kike. He knows his role. And again, he doesn't try to be someone that he's not. And I think that's why I like him so much too. He just tries to be himself. Top of the fourth, 2-2 Giants and Mariners. 2 outs, 1-2 pitch from Kirby to Lamont Wade Jr. Wade pops that one foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I watch enough Dodger games, to be able to go through the process. My dad watches every single one, just like I watch every single Mariner game. But again, if there was another team that I root for on the daily, it's definitely the Dodgers for my dad. Lamont Wade Jr., nice base knock in between Rivas and Jorge Polanco. And again, he would have made a great Seattle Mariner if that was someone that we needed at the 1 or 2, kind of like a J.P. Crawford clone. Nice job, Lamont. I like him. Next up, DHing for the Giants, Eliot Ramos, who ended up hitting a 2-run blast yesterday. We got to keep him in check. Oh, gosh. Yeah, it's going to be amazing to see when Ohtani, because, Ohtani is already going to be there with Aaron Judge at the top as, number 1 and number 2. And then if you can get Shohei Ohtani to be a top 15 pitcher, top 10 pitcher, and then eventually be maybe possibly a top 5 pitcher based off record in ERA, it's going to be very, very exciting. And hopefully he doesn't have to have, any type of UCL, Tommy John, ACL, MCL, PCL on his leg or on his arm. We want to make sure that he can stay as healthy as possible. Megan in the building. How are you? Top of the 4th, 2-2 Giants and Mariners. Runner at first with 2 outs. 2-0 pitch from Kirby Ramos. Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait. And again, I always will do the Dodgers when the Mariners have the day off, unless there's like football on or something else. But my goal was to do about 5 to 10 Dodger games this year when the Mariners had the day off. So that way I could actually, enjoy a Dodger matchup. I think so far we've done like 3 or 4. So there definitely would be a few more. And if for whatever reason the Mariners don't make the playoffs, obviously I'll be covering the Dodgers pretty heavily, obviously, as we go into the postseason. But hopefully the Mariners will be there too. 2-1 pitch. But I feel like I've done enough baseball for all the teams that I feel comfortable doing anybody. So even if the Mariners get eliminated and the Dodgers are not playing, I can end up doing the Brewers or the Phillies or the Padres or the Diamondbacks, Orioles, Yankees, Guardians, Twins, Royals. Like I don't feel like out of my element. I've done enough games. I'm trying to do 150 plus every year. And the only reason I would miss like 10 or 12 games for the MLB is either if the Mariners are playing at like 9, 10 in the morning, or if there's like a WWE pay-per-view or some other type of event, like a football game, where we might have to, use that opportunity for that game instead. But there's nobody else on YouTube that is doing as many as these particular games as the NWSF. So we'll be your everyday source for Mariner baseball for years to come. Popped up. Polo is there. And we leave a couple runners stranded. We're still knotted up at 2. Go to the bottom of the 4th, 2-2, Giants and Mariners. Hope you have a good day at church there. And then Mariners will be wrapping up here in a little bit. And then we got the Seahawks and the Browns tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific. And that'll be the last preseason game for both of those teams. And hopefully Seattle will end up getting the dub. I mean, even though, preseason games don't count in the win column, it still feels good when you win a preseason game. You'd rather see your team win rather than lose. And I feel that every hardcore fan feels the same. Like, again, even if you know that it's a bunch of, second stringers, third stringers, rookies, backups, who cares? You just want, as far as your team pride, when you look at the scoreboard, you want to make sure that if it's possible that, your team ends up with the dub at the end. It just gives you that confidence going into the regular season. So, and it also shows that you do have good backups. So if you actually can win in preseason, it shows that, okay, our starters would have done better, right? But if, you end up still winning, even if it's only by 3 or 6 or 7, it shows, oh, maybe the second and third stringers are a little bit better. Oh, these rookies stepped up and they were a big part of us winning this game, and they might get utilized in the regular season. So I'm always looking for rookies and backups to step up in preseason, even though, a good chunk of the fan base doesn't watch a lot of preseason. Some people watch every preseason game. Some watch, a couple, and then others don't watch it all and just look at the highlights on like social media. So let's go to the bottom of the 4th, see who's up next here for the Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, 0-for-0 with a run and a base on ball, third baseman Dylan Moore. Let's go, Demo. Batting second, catching today for the Mariners, Mitch Garver. Please get one hit today. And batting third, the hero from last night, shortstop Leo Rivas. Let's go, Leo. Reflect in the building. What's good? I was actually considering doing the Seahawk game tonight, but I got to kind of monitor, Paisley and see how she's doing and whatnot. But I know I'm probably going to watch the game. I mean, it's the only game on that late, and I am kind of curious to see what Seattle has to offer, even though we're probably not going to get Geno or any of the starters. Have they said, are they going to play any of the starters tonight? What's the word on social media, Megan and Reflect? Are you guys playing Geno and DK and Walker, or are we just going to get a lot of Sam Howell on the backups today? Starters are playing like 1 or 2 series, first quarter. Line drive, throw to first, 1 away. Yeah, it's all good. I'm just going to watch the game with Paisley. And then we'll be back at it tomorrow for the Mariners and the Giants on Sunday. Shout out to Sarah with the like and share on the post. Bottom of the 4th, 2-2, Giants and Mariners. Oh, 1 pitch from Bivens to Garver. Snell is out of the game by the 4th inning just because the pitch count was so high. A lot of walks. Kirby, 4 innings pitched, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks, 81 pitches in 4 innings, which is wild. Snell, 3 innings pitched, 0 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 walks, 5 Ks. And that's not a very Blake Snell stat line normally. But again, when you miss a lot of spring training and people think that you're going to sign with a certain team and you don't get the reps in, then you get hurt. And then you're not really yourself, and then it's kind of hard to be able to get back to where you were when you were on the Padres. Down goes Garver, swinging, 2 away. Next up, shortstop Leo Rivas. 12 of his first 15 pitches were first pitch strikes, 80%, but 6 walks for Snell is crazy. We actually got 2 runs with nobody getting a hit yet, so... They have 2 runs, 7 hits. We have 2 runs and we have no hits. It was all through walks. There we go, Rivas, first hit of the night. And lo and behold, it's the guy that was the hero for us last night, winning the game in 10. Leo Rivas, spending 9 years in the minor league farm system and able to get his first walk-off hit for a game winner yesterday. And Leo is keeping the hot streak alive while J.P. Crawford is still injuring the broken pinky. And Victor Robles got hit on the finger at his first at-bat and his first opportunity of being in right field in the no-fly zone with Randy and Julio. But when he laid down for the bunt, his finger and hand placement was off, and the ball ended up hitting his finger. They ended up taking him in the back for x-rays. It came up negative about 10 minutes ago. So at least Victor Robles is not out for the year, but we may have to wait a few days for Victor to come back into the lineup. Rayleigh popped up down the line into left field. And we leave one stranded, and we're at the end of the 4th inning. We're knotted up at 2. Let's go to the top of the 5th. All right, baby, here we go. 0 for 1 with a base on ball. In the cleanup spot, left fielder Michael Conforto. Batting second, 1 for 1 with an RBI, third baseman Matt Chapman. And batting third, 1 for 2 in the 6th hole, right fielder Mike Yastrzemski. Let's go, baby. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. We want to try to get to at least 30 before the game ends, if possible. Let's see where we're at right now. I haven't checked in a minute. Matt's got the day off here today. And we're at 21, so we need 9 more to hit the goal. 8 more to hit the goal. Thank you so much. We're at 22 now. 8 more to get to 30. And we've been on a good sub count roll. We had 10 subs from yesterday, and then we gained 2 today. So now we're at 20,000 404. So now we need 96 to get to 20,500. We broke 20,400 last night. So, and we ended up having more than 1,200 people in the stream yesterday to watch Dan Wilson get his first win as a manager for the Seattle Mariners. Let's go. George Kirby, 4 innings pitched, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks. And again, not the best game for George Kirby. You know, and I feel like having, you know, Mitch Garver catching instead of Cal is a big disadvantage. But again, he's been rocked a couple times against Skubal, and it seems like he hasn't really been able to find himself after those 2 matchups. So hopefully in the next start, you know, and maybe he'll end up having Cal Raleigh as a catcher instead of Garver. But, you know, him with a 9-9 record in most of his games, he's had Garver as a catcher. It kind of makes you wonder if he had Cal catching with him, how much better his record might be. Popped up, and Randy Arozarena with a leaping catch into left field saves George Kirby 1 away. Good job, Randy. Good effort there. Not like yesterday where you just let one go over your head. Thank you. Appreciate it. We're, you know, slowly, you know, just, you know, scratching and clawing and, you know, moving in the right direction. And when I do reaction videos, we're going to get those people that don't watch our live streams at all, but they'll watch every single video I do for NFL and college football reactions. So, you know, I'll end up making a thumbnail that'll have my image on it, a new photo that I'll end up taking. And then, you know, we'll use different arrows and, you know, different things. And obviously we'll still have the same kind of text, you know, like we have for the live play-by-play reactions on the thumbs now. And I feel with that in place, that'll get a lot more views on, you know, and a lot more clicks on the reaction video based off the thumb being better. And hopefully we'll end up gaining, you know, 500 to 1,000 subs during football season, if not more, based off just the reaction videos alone. I will have to sign up for the YouTube premium account, so that way there's no ads when I do those, so that way people can watch the reaction videos all the way through and not have an ad, you know, every 2 minutes when I'm trying to go over, you know, game footage. So I'll have to invest in that, but that'll be okay. You know, I'm willing to grind it out. Megan with a $5, appreciate you. 95 to go. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. Let me know what you want to do for photos, and I got you. Megan with a $5, 95 to go. Come on, Mariners. Julio headband. Julio headband. I might need that. Like Karate Kid. Pitch is high, 1 ball and no strikes. Top of the 5th, 2-2 Giants and Mariners. Next up is Mike Yastrzemski. Let me know what you want to do for photos before you go to church, and I got you. If you want the regulars or if you want something different, maybe you want some Seahawk players or Seahawk coaches, since the Seahawks are playing at 7 tonight. I'm actually looking forward to watching that matchup. Even if it's a bunch of backups out and rookies, I don't care. You know, it's the last game. And then once all the games end, you know, here on Sunday, starting Monday, you know, we'll figure out, you know, when we want to do our, you know, fantasy football draft and who wants to participate. You know, I'm going to be looking for 8 people. So obviously it'll be me and Reflect and then 8 others. We'll do a 10-man league that'll include men and women. And again, you know, we're going to not really modify too many of the rules, no trades. And then the only thing that we might, you know, adjust is like the weeks that are involved as we get into the playoffs. We did best of 2 weeks, best of 2 weeks. Maybe we'll just do best of 1 week, best of 1 week, and then champion. You know, we'll look at the rules, you know, through that. But, you know, we'll be getting into that information because obviously, you know, the season's just right around the corner. And once the last preseason game ends, then we know the injuries, and then we can comfortably end up doing our draft knowing that, you know, no one is going to end up magically getting hurt on that last preseason game. but I'll give that information out when we end up doing that. And, we'll see, what kind of, we usually will have about 20 or 30 people every year, even if they are already doing 1, 2, 3, 4 other fantasy leagues that want to be a part of it. I'm only going to do one. And again, however many that you guys want to manage, obviously is totally up to your discretion. And hopefully we'll end up getting a good turnout. And it's not going to be hard for us to fill the 10 spots or the 8 spots between Reflect and me and then the 8 others. But I'm looking forward to it. And I'm definitely going to be trying to go for the chip like I do every year, even though it's been a couple years since I've won. But again, I feel that I'm going to raise everyone's, expectations as far as effort. And I know Reflect will do the same. And it'll be a lot of fun this year, especially with a lot of the rookies and a lot of the players that have moved to new teams. It's definitely going to be very interesting. And a lot of the really, really good players from last year, some of them aren't going to be as good because, they don't have a quarterback that's healthy or the situation has changed, based off their team and maybe their role with the new team. So I'm definitely excited to see what kind of strategy the individuals do in the draft this year. And we will do a live stream for the draft like we did last year as well, obviously. Top of the 5th, 2-2, Giants and Mariners. And when we end up doing the draft, it'll probably be during the week instead of on the weekend. I think during the week might be better. Sometime, maybe around 5 o'clock Pacific, 5, 6, 7 Pacific, something like that. And it'll only be for a couple hours, for the draft. But we'll try to figure out a good time that we can end up doing it. So. Charles Cross. Okay, I got you. Little line drive there to Randy Arozarena, and that brings in a run. 3-2 Giants. Come on, Kirby. Kirby is out. Next up for the Giants, center fielder Grant McCray, and they've dropped the bunt down multiple times today to help them out. That's that type of mentality, that small ball, and just being able to use every tactic you can. And George, not the greatest performance today, not his worst either. It's not like we're down, 4 or 5 runs right now, but still we're down a run, and hopefully we can get out of this now. Let's see who's coming in for him. I saw somebody running out of the dugout there, but I couldn't see who it was. Yeah, we'll get all of the individuals that are interested in doing the league, and then I'll make a list, and then we'll go from there. But we definitely will be having at least 1 or 2 females in the league for sure. We want to make sure everyone is participating. JT Chagua coming into the game. Top of the fifth, 3-2 Giants with 2 outs. Runner at first. JT Chagua, the former Mariner, Marlin, and then back now to Seattle. Chopper towards first. And there we go. A very easy out. Called foul. Ooh. Daniel in the building. What's good? We'll try to make sure we get a good time where people can, it seems like we'll have a few people that will be in different time zones when we end up doing the fantasy football draft for the channel. So, but I'll go over some of the details, obviously, this upcoming week, since we're getting closer and closer to, obviously, the first game. And obviously, first game is September 5th. So the closest that we would want to do the draft is like, a couple days before. So if we ended up doing it like it's August 24th today. So, I mean, we can always do it anytime, obviously this next week. But the latest I would want to do it is Tuesday, September 3rd. So that way we have a couple nights to sleep on our team and see what's going on. But that'll be the last day that we do it, September 3rd on Tuesday. That way we can kind of think about our teams on Wednesday and then strategize. And then on Thursday, boom, you got the first game of the regular season with the Ravens and the Chiefs. But we might end up doing it, sooner than September 3rd, but again, that'll be the latest that we do the draft. 1-2 pitch from Chagua to McRae. McRae pops up. Should be a routine play to Julio in center field. And there it is. We leave a runner stranded. Go to the bottom of the fifth, down a run, 3-2 San Francisco. Next up for the Mariners, 0-for-0 with an RBI and 2 base on balls, Julio Rodriguez. Batting second, 0-for-2 with 2 Ks, first baseman Justin Turner. And batting third, left fielder, 0-for-2 with a K, Randy Arozarena. Come on, Randy. You've been on a kind of a very off streak. You were hot, right when you came in, and you kind of hit a wall. So hopefully you can tear down that wall and get back to the Randy that we used to have a few weeks back, because we need you. We need that offense, we need that defense, and we need that energy. All right, no worries. I got my first walk in, and I'll be doing another walk here with Baisley probably in about an hour. Get that exercise in. I got you. We're at 5:95 to go. Next up for the Mariners, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, baby. Try to sub, like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. We want to try to get to 30 likes before the stream ends. Go, Julio. Julio, back. Oh, And it drops. Wow. He's getting closer. All right, yeah. What about you, Sarah? Sarah, are you doing fantasy football this year or no? Have you thought about doing a league, or are you already competing in a fantasy football league? What's your situation on fantasy? Because I think Matt wants to try to do it this year, and we'll see how he matches up. But, if we got me and Reflect, and then if we have Megan and you, and then Matt, then we'll only need 5 more. Do you want to be in our league this year? Because I want to make sure I have at least, 2 females in the league. And obviously with like Brittany and like Zini and some of the others, they may or may not be participating in stuff like that. So, okay. All right. Well, we'll have you and Megan both in as our 2 females then. And then we'll have Matt in because I assume that he's going to want to try to show what he can do in fantasy, and we'll see if he knows how to play or not. And then we'll need five spots. So I'll give all the proper information in the streams as we go into obviously this upcoming week. But prepare to be a part of the 10-man woman league, just like before. And again, we'll only are going to need 5. And based on just talking about it in the streams. We will probably be able to have a majority of the people in the actual league that are a part of the streams on a daily basis. So, yeah, once he comes in, I'll ask him about it, and he'll come in, and we'll see if people want to do it or not. Some people, are good at it, and some people are learning, and some people it's just not for them. So, it does take a lot of time and energy, to put into it. So, bottom of the 5th, 3-2 Giants and Mariners. And I'm only doing 1 league, so it's not like I'm doing 2 or 3 or 4. I feel like doing 1 for me is perfect because I put in so much time and energy and effort spying on everyone else's team, looking at all the players that are available that are on the wire. Randy popped up into the gap, all the way to the wall. There we go. Nice job, Randy. Stand-up double for Randy Arozarena, who's been on a very, very cold streak as of late. Nice job, Randy Arozarena. That's the Randy that we picked up in the trade deadline there from the Tampa Bay Rays. Nice job, Arozarena. Next up, second baseman Jorge Polanco. Yeah, I feel, I would obviously, the most that I've ever done, comfortably is 2. I feel if you do any more than 2, it's kind of hard to keep up with all the players and the league and the strategy. And then if you end up doing more than 2, the focus isn't going to be as strong, especially if you got like 3 or 4 leagues that you're doing. You're not going to be able to pay attention to all of them in the same way. So that way, if you end up doing 1 or 2, it's a little bit easier to focus on those teams that you have. So, you're doing F1 fantasy? No way. Do you know enough about F1 to do it? That's crazy. I think they got fantasy in pretty much everything. NASCAR fantasy, baseball fantasy, basketball fantasy. And I've been asked by friends to do a bunch of others, but I don't feel comfortable doing those. I feel like football for me is enough. But that's cool though. You'll be able to teach me something on that, and UNDX on the F1 side. I'm definitely trying to learn more on the F1 side. I'm already a big NASCAR, fan, but not as much on the F1 side. But again, I don't know anything about F1. So if I knew a little bit more about the drivers and the teams and, where they race at and the history, then obviously the more you know about any sport, the more interested you're going to be, right? So bottom of the 5th, 3-2 Giants, runner at second, Randy Arozarena, 2 outs, 3-1 pitch from Bivens to Polo. That one chop foul, 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's awesome. Congratulations on that. How many years of F1 fantasy have you been doing? Is this your first year doing it, or have you done it before? I know, and he was the only smart one to pick Georgia Tech. popped up into center field. Florida State is way overrated. For you to lose in the first game as number 10 in the nation, and Georgia Tech is still a good team, but they're not ranked. There's no way in hell if you're a top 10 team, that you should lose the very first game like that. So, again, it's definitely a gut punch, if you're Florida State. And then they had DJU, the former Oregon State Beaver, there. And, yeah, they might have had their OC suspended and a couple players injured. But if you're normally the elite Florida State Seminole team that we're used to, you don't lose to fucking Georgia Tech. Come on. It's not like Georgia Tech had Calvin Johnson at wide receiver over there. I mean, you should have won that. Now, it was an entertaining game. I ended up watching it. It was on at 9 a.m., and whatnot. And it was very back and forth, but very sloppy. It was in Dublin, Ireland, and you could definitely, there was a lot of turnovers and whatnot, but I was a little shocked that Florida State lost that game, especially being overrated and ranked 10th. Maybe they should have been ranked 20th, or maybe not even ranked based on how they look. But, hopefully they'll be able to pick it up. And for Georgia Tech, what a great, dub for them right out of the gates, beating number 10 Florida State. That was huge. And obviously, Roman Reigns is happy. We know Megatron is happy. And we know a few others from Georgia Tech are happy as well. Oh, okay. First, nice. Keep me updated on that, on the drivers and how things are going while you're doing it. I would be very interested to hear how the points work in that. Obviously doing NASCAR fantasy. I think I would be good at that just because I'm so in tune on what's going on. But F1, I would be lost. But you can teach. You can let me know what's going on there. That's cool. Top of the sixth, 3-2 Giants. Let's see what's up here for San Francisco. JT Chagua, first pitch outside, 1 ball and no strike. And for the Giants, we have catcher Kurt Casale. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's why I want to wait, after that, because, anyone that gets cut, I mean, obviously we don't expect it to be a bunch of big names, but there are going to be some, wide receiver 4s. Back. Julio's there. Nice catch by Julio. He doesn't have to go into the wall there, 1 away. But there's going to be some good, wide receiver 4s, wide receiver 5s that do get cut, and then they'll end up going to another team. So it might not necessarily be for fantasy implications right away unless some of the guys get hurt. But I'm definitely interested to see, on some of the surprise cuts that we're going to end up having here in a couple days. So nice catch by Julio there in the outfield. Next up is Tyler Fitzgerald. He's been a little thorn in the Mariners side here today. 2 for 3 with a run, RBI, and a K. 2 singles, a stolen base, and an RBI and a run. He's done everything. Tyler Fitzgerald. Chargois at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. 305 average, 14 homers, and 29 ribbies for Tyler in the leadoff position here for the San Francisco Giants. Yeah, waiver pickups, practice squad. Everything is really starting to come together now, and it's really starting to become a full reality that we are getting really close. And we got the college football season underway, which is awesome. And sometimes college football is more exciting than the NFL, let's be honest. The cheerleaders, the band, the camaraderie, the chanting. It just feels like sometimes the college football games are more fun. Now, we obviously love the NFL and everything that it brings, but if you watch both, just like when you play college football or Madden, sometimes a college football game is a little faster and a little funner. And I feel the same way when I watch the game sometimes. Sometimes college football will be a little bit more entertaining and fun, sometimes more than even the NFL. And I love the NFL. But as we know, sometimes NFL games get dragged out, and sometimes they end up being a little lackluster and a little underwhelming, depending on who we're watching. But I feel with college football, just that energy from the band and the cheerleaders and the fans and the students and just everybody, just the camaraderie and the music. Like, it's just one of those things when you get that swagger and that aura from the kids that are 18 to 22. It just feels like a different type of vibe, and I really love both a lot. And I'm really happy that we're getting both of these seasons started very shortly. College football today, and then the NFL in just about a week, 2 weeks away. Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch a lot of USC this year for sure. I'll be keeping tabs on USC. I'll be keeping tabs on UW and UCLA. You know, obviously doing a lot of Oregon, keeping up with Michigan and Penn State and Wisconsin, and Iowa and Ohio State. And I'm very excited to be able to see where it goes. And it looks like the SEC has been moved to ABC, which is normally on CBS with Vern Lundquist, right? And then the Big Ten has moved to CBS. Is that correct? So we're going to end up having Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan. That's going to be on CBS now. And then the SEC is going to be on ABC. So with this 12-team playoff coming in for the very first time this year, it's going to be very weird and different. But I think it's going to be cool. You know, more teams in the tourney, the better. And eventually we'll get to 16 teams since we already have over 100 Division I. They're going to start it off with 12. And eventually in a couple of years, they'll add 4 more to the playoff scenario, which makes sense. I mean, if we already have 12 teams roughly making the NFL playoff out of 32, why do we only have 12 in college when we have over 100 colleges, Division I? We should have a minimum of 16. Now, I don't know if we're ever going to get to a point where we do a 32-team tournament, you know, out of 100 Division I schools. That sounds a little crazy, but you never know. But I feel like 16 is perfect. You know, that seems like the perfect number. But we're going to be at 12 to start it off. Or if you wanted to do like 18, somewhere between 16 and 18, I think would be perfect. You know, but 16 kind of seems like the right number, but we're going to do 12 to start off just to kind of test it out to see how it goes. So no longer are we in the BCS. No longer are we in the college football playoff. Now we actually have a 12-team tournament, which is pretty cool. Big Ten on Fox and CBS. Nice, cool. And it's always been on Fox, too. Like those 9 a.m. games with Gus and Joel Klatt. Can't wait. But now I get to actually watch Oregon with, with Gus and Joel instead of having to just be doing Ohio State and Michigan and, those teams. So. Yeah, yesterday was awesome. There we go. JT Chargois with the punch out. 2 away. Next up, DHing for the Giants, Elliot Ramos. Yeah, that was definitely the game of the year. I think for the Mariners, Dan Wilson's first game as manager, being down 5-1 in the 8th, and we're all thinking, oh, here we go again. Regardless if we have Scott or some other new guy like Dan, we still can't hit and we suck. And then we got 6 consecutive hits, got it tied up 5-5, won it 6-5 in 10, and it felt really, really good. Anytime you can come back by, more than 3 runs, it's huge. But then also winning it for Dan was awesome. Pitches inside to Elliot Ramos. 1 ball and no strike. But it shows you how good the Astros are. Even if they have injuries here and there, the pitching or the hitting might be a little bit off here and there. They started off really, really slow, and now it looks like they're going to win the division again. They're very deep. And it's not just like the Altuve and the Yordan Alvarez, it's the Bregmans and the Jeremy Peñas and all of the pitching staff that they have. And, we just have to be able to win games and have the Astros lose. And I believe yesterday, the Mariners winning and the Astros losing on the same day, yesterday was the first time that happened. So it's tough. We're not able to gain a whole lot of ground, but also we haven't been winning very many games as of late either. All right, we get out of the inning. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th and see who's up here for Seattle. I'm going to check up on Paisley Pup here real quick. Paisley Pup just sleeping on the couch. She got a couple more days of the cone after the spider bug bite that she had. I hate seeing her wear the cone, but we still got to exercise and get our fitness out there. And hopefully everything will heal up properly. But so far, it looks like it's healing up well. And I can't wait for her to have that cone off. All right, we're in the bottom of the sixth, 3-2 San Francisco. Next up, Mitch Haniger. Let's go, Mitch. Annie has been pretty good in the last 3 weeks, with clutch hitting. And we would really love for Haniger to get another hit here. Right field blooper. Oh, and caught. One away. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 1 with a K and a base on ball, third baseman, Dylan Moore. Come on, Demo. Yeah, she's not too big of a fan, but I still give her lots of massages and kisses and hugs, and we still do everything that we normally do with her with the cone on. I just can't have her pulling as hard when we go on walks because I got the leash wrapped around her neck instead of having it on a harness, so she can't really jerk the chain or the harness and whatnot because it's not there. So I got like a leash that's like retractable and whatnot. So the walks have been cut back. Instead of doing 30 to 45 minute walks, we're doing 20 to 25 minute walks at a time because she, obviously has the cone. And, I have medication that she's on too that makes her drowsy. So, obviously try to do that after we do our first walk. Then she can sleep, and then late before bed. And then, when she's already ready to wind down, then put a little bit on, and then she'll be good there. 1-2 pitch to Demo. A little line drive. Throw to first from Fitzgerald. 2 away. Come on, Mariners. Don't give up. Next up for the Mariners, catcher today, Mitch Garver. I just wish we could play Cal every single game. It's like every game that we have Garver catch, it's like a nightmare. He's never going to throw anybody out at second. He's not a very good catcher. Hell, I'd rather have Harry Ford right now, even as inexperienced as he is, even if he may not be ready. I feel like Harry would be a better catcher because that's his natural position, and he would be a better hitter, regardless if you're in single A, high A, double A, or triple A. Give me Harry Ford over Garver today. But I guess we're stuck with Garv until the end of the season. Pitch in the zone for a strike to Garv, already behind in the count, 0-2. Pitches outside at the knees, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 165 average, 12 homers, and 38 ribbies. Definitely the worst player on the Seattle Mariners right now, Mitch Garver. But hopefully the stats can slightly improve before the end of the year. I mean, hopefully he can at least be at 200 instead of being at 165. I mean, 200 is terrible. 165 is ridiculous. But seems like he has no swag, no aura, no vibe, and he's just out there collecting a paycheck. And that's sad. 2-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Goodbye. Down goes Garv. Put in Cal Raleigh, damn it. End of the 6th inning. 3-2 Giants. Let's see who's up next here for San Francisco. Leading off for the Giants and the top of the 7th. Left fielder in the 4-hole, Michael Conforto. 0 for 2 with a base on ball. Batting second, 1 for 2 with an RBI. Third baseman in the 5-hole, Matt Chapman, arguably their best player on the team. And batting third, 2 for 3 with a run, right fielder Mike Yastrzemski. Come on, Mariners. Oh, that's cool. Bringing the family along. Gained 2 more subs here tonight. Let's go. Sub count is moving in the right direction. Now we're at 20,406. 94 subs to be able to get to 20,500. Nice job. Thank you so much. And where are we at on the likes? How close are we to 30? That's what we're going for today, just 30. Since we're doing an early afternoon game, we're at 25. So we only need 5 more likes for the rest of the game. You know, and if we get anything above that, great. Now we're at 26. Thank you to the people that have recently subbed today in the last few days to get us, you know, past the 20,400 number. We've gained about 15, 20 subs in the last 2 days, so thank you. And we're 4 likes away from 30 before the game ends. So if you are in the room and you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. It'll help us out with the algorithm and the metrics. And I think we'll easily be able to get 4 more likes before the game ends. We're in the top of the 7th, so we still got 3 innings to go. Pitch there in the zone for a strike to Conforto, behind in the count 0-2. And Michael has graced the thumbnail 2 games in a row. I tried doing Blake Snell and Kirby, but I couldn't get a good enough Blake Snell photo to convert. You know, I went through like 25 images of Snell, couldn't get any of them to convert the way that I wanted to, you know, with the standard that we have with the thumb. So unfortunate I wasn't able to get Snell and Kirby on the thumb. So then I had to kind of pivot, and I found this one that I was able to convert with Michael Conforto, and I just had to make the George Kirby image, you know, kind of zoomed in to have a similar size for both, and it worked out good. 1-2 pitch from Conforto out there to Randy Arozarena in left field, popped up to left field, 1 away, lined out, 1 out, Seattle. Next up for the Giants, 1 for 2 with an RBI, third baseman Matt Chapman. Yeah, me too. I mean, that's the reason why I woke up early to watch a little bit of that Florida State Georgia Tech game. You know, obviously I don't really care too much about either one of those teams, but it's college football, so you want to be able to, you know, hear the crowd, you know, feel the vibes, see the big plays, and understand that, you know, we're getting into the best time of the year. Chapman popped up. Arozarena there in left field. 2 away. Next up, right fielder Mike Yastrzemski. Top of the 7th, 3-2 Giants with nobody on, 2 outs. And we got Austin both in the game. Pitch right down the middle for a strike. 0-1 count. Jammed him. Finding the count 0-2. Come on, Austin. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, they were saying that he had a 100 milligram edible that was on the plane, and then was drinking mega beers there in Dublin, Ireland, and was slurring a lot of his words through the broadcast. But as long as they feel that they can still do the show and there's no pushback, and they can allow them to be free like that, as long as you can still somewhat talk, on the show. But of course, if you're going to allow, party favors and drinking and whatnot, then things are going to be a little out of control. So it's not like that's Pat's first rodeo. He's living his best life. 1-2 pitch. Yastrzemski. Wow. Right over the wall. Solo dinger from Yastrzemski. 343 feet, 4-2 Giants. Golly, fuck. And it didn't, it barely went over the wall. 343 feet, 105.3 exit velo, right over, just right into the first row, just barely over the wall. Pulled that baseball perfectly. Austin, what are you doing? Golly. It didn't even get into the front row, right before the front row, right into the area over the mat. Little slow roll dribbler, throw to first. And we get out of the inning, but they keep adding on more runs to make it more difficult for the Mariners. Now we're down 4-2, and we have to go to the bottom of the seventh. Every game is just chaos for the Mariners, where we just can't have a lead and hang on to it, or we're down by a bunch and we have to have this miracle comeback. I don't know if we got a miracle comeback in us again today in back-to-back days for Dan, but I hope so. Let's see who's up next year for Seattle, and hopefully we can get it at least tied 4-4 by the 9th, so that way we can win 5-4 in the 10th, or 5-4 in the bottom of the 9th. But that might be asking too much from the sports gods after last night. Next up for the Mariners, 1-for-2 with a K, shortstop Leo Rivas, the hero from yesterday. Will he be the hero today? We'll see. Batting second, 0-for-2 with an RBI and a base on ball. Stepping in for Victor Robles. X-rays are negative on his finger that he got hit by a baseball attempting a bunt at his first at-bat in the first inning. And now we have Luke Raley. And batting third, 0-for-1 with an RBI and 2 base on balls. He's getting closer and closer to hitting a home run. Will he hit one tonight? Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. We need you, baby. And if he doesn't hit one today, maybe tomorrow or in that Tampa Bay Rays series. But we could really use a Julio homer to lift our spirits here tonight. Take a look at some of the scores and where we're at right now. I think the only other college football game that is any worth of my interest might be the Hawaii game later tonight. Just kind of see what they got going on, but Chargers 20, Cowboys 16. We got Giants and Jets at 4:30, Browns and Seahawks at 7. I'll be watching that one with Paisley. And then Titans Saints, Cardinals Broncos, go Bo Nix. And then Patriots Commanders will be the last preseason game tomorrow. And then we'll be live tomorrow for the Mariner game on Sunday. Same time, same place, 1 o'clock Pacific, first pitch at 1:10. And we got Robbie Ray, the former Mariner, going against Brian Wu. And that'll be the first time Robbie Ray has come back to Seattle, I believe, since he ended up having Robbie Ray give up that big home run to Yordan Alvarez, and he ended up shipping him off. So Going to be very interesting, and we should be able to get a dub against Robbie Ray and the Giants. But Robbie's been decent. 3-2 record, 4.88 ERA. You know, he's not amazing. He's not a top 10 pitcher, but, you know, average. At least he has more wins than losses. But Brian Wu is going to be coming for blood, and I feel that we'll win tomorrow if we lose this game. But if we can find a way to win this game, we're going to have a good chance for a sweep. But we got to find a way to come back and tie this up. 0-2 pitch to Rivas. Got him. Hicks with a punch out. Next up, right fielder Luke Raley. And if you're just tuning into the broadcast, Victor Robles was his first game at right field to play with Julio in center and Randy in left. He went down for a bunt attempt and got hit on the finger by the ball and was out for the game. And they did x-rays, and x-rays just came back negative. So we expect to see Victor Robles back in the lineup in a couple days. I'm not sure if he's going to be on the 10-day or 15-day IL. I don't know how bad it is or how bruised it is, but at least the bone is not broken in his finger. So we might see him as early as tomorrow, but we may not see him for a week or two. We'll have to take a look at the injury chart, obviously, for the Mariners and social media, obviously moving forward tonight and tomorrow morning. Bottom of the seventh, 4-2 Giants. 2-0 pitch from Hicks to Luke Raley. Pitch is outside. 3 balls and no strikes. All right, take care. Have a great rest of your day. Go Hawks. Beat those Browns tonight. And that's a walk, baby. There we go. Here we go. Here's we get back in the game. You know, we have a hard time hitting. Let's get hit by a pitch. Let's get some walks. Let's just get a couple guys on. Next up, Julio Rodriguez. We got the Giants. We got the Rays. We got the Angels. We got the A's. And then we got the Cardinals. So these are all winnable series the rest of the way in this month. But again, if we play like we did in the last couple weeks, we will win none of those series. So we have to find a way to step up and play like we did yesterday. And hopefully we don't have to play this chaos ball where we're always down and having to come back with this miraculous comeback. I mean, it definitely tugs at the heartstrings for sure. Tell Big O happy birthday. From one O to another. Happy birthday, Ollie. Julio. Back. Yes! Yes! Ground rule double. Unfortunately, that one didn't stay in play. It would have been 4-3, and we would have gotten Luke Raley to come home, so we kind of got screwed right there. But now we got guys at second and third with 1 out, and hopefully we can bring both of those guys home. Oh, happy belated birthday. Like the one time Julio gets a ground rule double, but if it would have stayed in play, that would have been better. Right over the net. Next up, first baseman Justin Turner. Come on, JT. Please. We need 1 run this inning and 1 run in the 8th, but we'll definitely take 2 in the 7th if we can get it. Get a bases clearing double for JT, and let's tie this game up 4-4 and win this game 5-4 in 10 or in 9. Went over his mitt. JT crushes that one, but fading foul. You already know what time it is now. Time for Maurice. Let's go, baby. It's time. Let's go. Pitch is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to JT. Justin Turner. Let's go, Big Red. I smell a comeback. Let's go. Reflect with a 5-er. We're at 10. 90 to go. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now, Edgar is already making a difference. You know, he's taking the approach, you know, to some of these players that you have to swing differently on 3-0 rather than 0-2. There's going to be different types of ways that you can help this team out, and swinging the same type of way, no matter what the count is, has been, deadly for us. And it shows that we're last in the league in hitting. So now if you can adjust and swing differently depending on the pitch count and get the most out of every at-bat, which Edgar wants, we're starting to see the benefit of having him as our hitting coach for the rest of the year and hopefully beyond. Bottom of the seventh, 4-2 Giants, 1 out, runners at second and third, 3-2 count. Let's take a walk, JT. Let's go. There we go, baby. Bases loaded. And we know Randy has been cold, right? But he did have a nice base knock in his last at-bat. But again, Randy doesn't even need to swing. He could literally just stand there, and we can bring in a walk and bring in that runner home from third. I mean, a great, grand salami would be awesome, but we don't really anticipate Randy doing that. Bases clearing double would be fantastic. Then we would end up being up 5-4. But even just getting an RBI single to make it 4-3 and not be greedy would be totally okay. But the bottom line is we've got to get at least 3 by the time this inning ends if we have any chance of tying or winning this game. And we have plenty of opportunities in this game to be able to get to 4. But can we get a rally started like we did in the 8th inning with 6 consecutive hits starting from Jorge Polanco? Can we have Randy continue the Uncle Mo and the momentum? Let's go, Randy. Bring that electricity, baby. Let's go. Polo up next. Then Haniger. Let's go. First pitch is outside, 1-0 count. I mean, I think a walk is very plausible here too. Again, don't force it. Just let the pitches come to you. And if you can't hit the zone, don't fucking swing. Take the free run. Oh, almost got him in the face. 2-0 count. This guy will not be able to strike him out. So as long as you are patient in the box, you're either going to get hit by the pitch or it's going to be a walk. This season with the bases loaded, Randy is 0 for 12. 0 home runs and 3 ribbies. 2-0 pitch from Hicks or Rosarina. 3-0 count. We're grinding it out, baby. Sometimes you just know. Well, if you watch baseball enough, you can kind of, the writing is on the wall. It's foreshadowing. You can just kind of tell the body language in his eyes as a pitcher if he's got it or not. Randy swings at it. Double play. Unbelievable. I hope he ended up being safe. He ran pretty hard to first, but fucking A, dude. Why didn't you just take the walk? Oh, it looks like he's safe. He's safe. He's safe. That's going to be 4-3, baby. That's going to be 4-3, baby. I mean, obviously the pressure of not being that guy, of fucking up after hitting into a double play and trying to make up for it. But that should be 4-3, and we can continue the rally with Polo here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's safe. It's very clear. The foot goes down, the ball enters the mitt, but it doesn't hit the back of the mitt until the foot is down already. Easy call, safe at first. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Thank you so much. We only need 3 more for the night. We're at 27. We need to get to 30. So if you are in the room and haven't done it, please do. And he's safe, baby. Let's go. 3 more likes for the game. Let's get it. And I'm going to be going to ground control in like a week or 2. And my buddy ended up going to the Met series. As you remember, my best friend Justin. And he ended up getting a black mini Mariners bat from the game. So I'll definitely be rocking the mini Mariners bat in the next couple weeks, and hopefully that'll give us a little good luck on the stream as well. Maybe my bat on the screen will help us out with a little bit of hitting. And I already do have a Portland Beaver mini bat and a Ichiro one, and then I got another Mariner one, but I just don't know, out of all of my boxes with all my toys and collectibles, I don't know where those 3 mini bats are. And then I obviously got a mini black one coming with the Seattle Mariner insignia and everything and whatnot. So definitely excited to be able to have that in my possession. 4-3 Giants. Bottom of the 7th with runners at first and third with 2 outs. What are they looking at now? What are they thinking? Justin Turner made an interference or something? That he slid into him? Is that what they're saying? Is that what they're looking at? Like Turner tried to do interference or something? And San Francisco loses the challenge. I don't know what the hell they were challenging. They were trying to get an interference call. Get out of here with that. All right, now that pitcher is coming out, I believe. And they're going through pitchers left and right. I mean, it's 3-3 now, but are they making another change? Let's see. I mean, we are only in the 7th. All right, commercial break. Hey, at least we're down only by 1 now, you know. Hey, we just got to keep the faith, right? There we go. We got another like. We only need 2 more for the night. And again, somewhere between 30 and 40 likes is what we're going to shoot for, obviously in an early broadcast. And then we're at, 10 on the donos, 90 to go there. Let's go, baby. Let's find a way to dig this game out. Shout out to all the people that have subbed within the last couple days. We've gained about 12 subs, 14 subs within the last couple days, and we just broke 20,400, and it seems like we're on our way to the next goal. We're on 20,500. We're at 20,406, and we were about 10 or 12 subs away from that number, yesterday. So obviously, with that big Dan Wilson win, it definitely helped. Let's go. Go M's. I would assume up next will be second baseman Jorge Polanco once they get everything situated here with the scoreboard and whatever reviews that they're looking at there. I'm happy too, man. We definitely, you don't want to have bases loaded or 2 guys on, multiple times and get nothing. It's demoralizing. Or if you end up having 2 or 3 double plays that you hit into. Once you do it one time, you're okay with it. But then when it happens 2 or 3 times after that, it's like, oh, God. And then, it's like you already kind of have a bad feeling when guys are on first and second that you're going to end up having a double play and the inning is going to end. And there's nothing worse than, having no outs and bases loaded, or 1 out and bases loaded, or 0 outs and runners at first and second and you have fucking nothing. So I'm happy that we scored. Good by Randy. He should have just took the walk. But again, at least he ran it out to first. So it ended up not being a double play. And now we still have an opportunity to tie this game up with a runner at first and third with 2 outs. And we'll see if Jorge Polanco can be that hero. And he is overdue for a home run, just like Julio Rodriguez is, right? So maybe Polo has a little Polo magic and hits a 3-run blast to give us a 6-4 lead. And if we get that lead, we're not losing this game. Let's go, Polo. Or a bases clearing double to give us a 5-4 lead would be sexy too. But I'll even take just a RBI single, right? And the next guy gets out and we're tied up at 4. That'll still be good. We just want to get as much as we can get out of every inning. We don't want to leave anything behind if we don't have to. 1-0 pitch from Doval to Polanco, their 4th pitcher. Randy steals second. Nice job, Randy. 19th stolen bag. 3rd as a Seattle Mariner. Nice job, Randy. Now we got runners at second and third. Come on, Polo. Come on, Polo. 3-0 count. Don't swing. Don't swing. Oh, their whole team has walked a lot today. They got 4 runs, 10 hits. We got 3 runs on 3 hits. But there's been a lot of walks. They're at, right now, 8 so far. We had 4. 3 with Kirby. 1 with JT Chargois. Bases loaded, baby. I like that. Nice job, Polo, by not swinging. You have the patience. Next up, we got Mitch Haniger. Mitch Haniger with a grand salami. Almost hit him. And right here, if Mitch doesn't swing and he just takes a walk or gets hit by a pitch, boom, 4-4. You know, like, again, you don't have to be the hero to hit the grand slam or the bases clearing double, you know, or the RBI single. You know, again, any type of way to get something, you know, across home plate will be great for us here. Pitch is inside, 2-0 count. And if this guy can't hit the strike zone, it's 2-0. He's not going to strike him out. Just let him walk you, and the game is tied 4-4. Come on. Let him walk you. Two-0 pitch. Pitch right down the middle for a strike. 2-1 count. Don't get pressed to swing here just because he threw a strike. 2-1 pitch. And that is the end of the inning with the bases loaded, stranded. But in hindsight, at least that we got 1. So, again, it would have been amazing to be able to tie and take the lead. But, you know, sometimes the sports gods won't let you have everything at once. You know, you got to work for it. So, at least now the game is in reach and we can get it, you know, if we can get 1 run in the 8th or 1 run in the 9th to tie it up and they don't give up any more and it stays 4 for the Giants, we could end up having a similar win like we had last night where we could possibly win 5-4 like we did yesterday, 6-5 and 10. It's playing out where that could happen. So hopefully the pitching is good and we can get a couple nice base knocks late and we can end up rallying and win again for Dan Wilson. And we got Brian Wu versus Robbie Ray tomorrow. I know we're winning tomorrow. Brian Wu is going to wheel and deal. Robbie Ray, I'm not sure if he's going to get heckled by the crowd or booed by the crowd. You know, obviously giving up that home run to Yordan Alvarez definitely left a bad taste in a lot of Mariners fans' mouth. But I don't think that we need to go to the extreme to boo him. You know, again, that was more of a Scott Service thing where you should have been smarter than put someone like Robbie Ray in. And Robbie Ray was the one that got the brunt end and the short end of the stick. But, you know, there was some games where Robbie played good for us. And there was games where he played bad. But I won't be booing him. But I can't speak for the rest of the Mariner fans that are there. I imagine it'll probably be, you know, a couple claps, maybe a couple boos here and there, you know, and whatnot. But again, we got Wu on the mound, and that's really what matters. But it is kind of an intriguing matchup, and I believe it's one of the first times that Robbie Ray has been back to T-Mobile since the Yordan Alvarez home run from a couple years ago, since we shipped him out, and he's been bouncing around from team to team. So we'll see how it goes. But I know we're going to win tomorrow. But again, we have to see if we can come back and win this one here tonight. Next up for the Giants, center fielder, Grant McCray. I'm dropping down the bunt. Beautiful. Batting second, catcher, Kurt Casale. And batting third, shortstop, Tyler Fitzgerald. Now we got Trent Thornton in, and he hasn't really been that good in his last couple starts. So hopefully Trent can hold it down here. Come on, Mariners. Come on, Trent. Come on, baby. Big swing and a miss. Nice job, Trent. Got him behind the count, 0-2. I wonder if we'll bring in Troy Taylor again. We had him yesterday. Come on, Trent. Pitch is inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Grant McCray. 250 average, 1 homer and 2 ribbies here in 2024. Come on, Thornton. Thornton is a cousin. It looks like Lauren on the channel. They are almost identical looking. And big base knock for McRae. That's not what we want to see out of Thornton. Come on. You had an 0-2 count, and that's what happens? Hell. Now we got to pray for a double play. Nice job by Grant there, pulling that baseball into right field. Next up, catcher Kurt Casale. Double play here. Yeah, Thornton is in. We definitely need to hold our breath. 100%. He pitches good sometimes. He pitches terrible sometimes. But as of late, he's begun giving up big hits, big RBIs, and big home runs. But you could say that pretty much for every one of our bullpen guys. It hasn't been pretty lately. We are bottom 5, as far as rankings. We're 25th out of 30 teams, and our bullpen has been averaging about 5 runs that we've been giving up, when they have got a chance to get out there. Casale shows bunt. There was a couple Giants fans. One early in the broadcast and one late in the broadcast. That's why you never want to speak too soon, But again, people love being keyboard warriors and talking shit. They love it. The trolls and the keyboard warriors, they love that shit. But again, if you speak too early, you never know. Sports gods may get wind of it, and then they'll end up giving the win to the other team. Happens all the time. One pitch. Casale with the bunt. Oh my God, Thornton. Wow, he bobbled it, but luckily didn't give up on the play. And Thornton ends up getting the out. I mean, if we would have not got that out, the game might have been over right there. First and second with no outs. I got no confidence in Thornton. Golly. Come on, Trent. Tries to grab it with his glove and completely misses it. Gets the underhand throw to Turner. And luckily, Turner has enough time to get him out there. Fuck. Jesus Christ, Trent. Play some video games. Get that hand-eye coordination going. Play some PS5. Shit. Next up, shortstop, Tyler Fitzgerald, who's been one of the MVPs today for the Giants. We got real lucky there. Another bunt attempt. Wow, these guys are going crazy with the bunt. They're like inside my head right now. And they're getting back-to-back bunt attempts? Is this heaven? What am I watching here? That'll be a dream for me when I can end up seeing 2 back-to-back bunt attempts for the Mariners. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike for Tyler Fitzgerald. 305 average, 14 homers, 29 ribbies. Solid player, Tyler Fitzgerald. Hell yeah, Baltimore 3, Astros 2. Fuck yeah. We need to win. We need to win, baby. Every time the Astros lose, we need to win. And I believe yesterday was the first time that we were able to take advantage of that, where we won and they lost. Let's do it again. 1-2 pitch. Thornton, what are you doing? You're going to get a balk, you dummy. What are you doing? We got another sub. We're on a nice little sub train. Now we're at 20,407, 93 to go to get to 20,500. Thank you to all the people that have subbed within the last couple days and everyone that's liked, shared, subbed, donated, and commented. I appreciate you. And shout out to all the people watching globally, nationwide. Top of the 8th, 4-3 Giants. Runner at second with 2 outs. Next up, one of my favorite players on the Giants, if not my favorite. First baseman, Lamont Wade Jr. Appreciate that, Reflect. All right, we hit 30. Hell yeah. So we only need 5 more to get to 35, 10 more to get to 40, and now we're at 31. 9 more to get to 40. Let's see if we can get to 40 before the stream ends, or as close as we fucking can. Let's go. I mean, especially if it goes extra innings, I know we'll get over 40 because we'll get a spike in viewership And we'll go from 30, 40 in the room to 50 to 80 in the room. That's typically what happens with the Mariners when we catch up, or when the game is close, or when a team makes a crazy rally, like when being down 5-1 in the 8th and tying it up 5-5. That'll definitely double the viewership. Either people hoping the Mariners lose or hoping that we complete the comeback. Takes a strike there in the zone. 0-1 count from Thornton to Wade. 280 average, 5 homers, and 22 ribbies, but he did hit his 5th home run last night against the Mariners. 0-1 pitch to Wade. Pitch is high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Come on, Mariners. Get away out of this inning. Find a way, Trent. Slow road dribbler. Pitch into the dirt at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike. Come on, Ems. And we'll be live here tomorrow, same time, same place at 1 o'clock Pacific. Pitch is way outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. And I'm definitely excited about NASCAR Cup Series Daytona International Speedway night race. Starts at 4:30. Definitely excited about that. 3-1 pitch. Chopper behind the plate, foul. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Agreed. He pulls the baseball really well. He kind of reminds me of J.P. Crawford. Not as good as a defensive player as J.P., but kind of a similar type of player like a J.P., a guy that can lead off or play in the 2-hole. 3-2 pitch from Thornton, and he almost hit him. Fuck, he walked him. But I guess that's better than him getting a big RBI and making it 5-3, then we probably would lose. So, all right, now we got guys on first and second. And now we got to be careful here. Elliot Ramos, he ended up hitting a 2-run blast on us yesterday. So we got to make sure that he doesn't do it here again, because then it will be a 3-run blast. And if it ends up being 7-3, the game is over. Come on, Thornton. Yeah, we both talked about that, Reflect. I mean, we're always in on those type of players. The Brent Rookers and the Lamont Wade Jr.'s and the Brian De La Cruzes, especially when we really didn't think the Pete Alonso, Cody Bellinger, Bo Bichette, Vlad Jr., type of rumors were really going to come true, at least not for the Mariners. And almost all those guys ended up staying on their same team, right? Pitch inside with a big swing and a miss to Elliot Ramos, behind in the count 0-2. Let's go. Come on, Trent. Top of the 8th, 4-3 Giants. Runners at first and second, 0-2 pitch. Ramos fouls that one off. Count remains 0-2. Runners at first and second with 2 outs with a 1-run lead. Mariners still got a chance to make a miraculous chaos ball comeback for Dan Wilson, and we're trying to get him win number 2. Let's get out of this inning, and I believe we will. 0-2 pitch, got him. There we go. Nice job, Trent. It wasn't pretty, but at least you got out of it. Nice job. Let's go to the bottom of the 8th. We got 2 more opportunities here to be able to get 1 run, and then obviously 1 run in the 9th or the 10th to win the game. Let's go Mariners. See who's up next for Seattle. Mariner Moose. Let's go. It's rally time. Next up for the Mariners, 0-for-2 with a run and a base on ball, third baseman Dylan Moore. Batting second, 0-for-2 with a base on ball and 2 Ks. I would love a substitution for Cal Raleigh right here, but Mitch Garver. And batting third, 1-for-3 with 2 Ks, shortstop Leo Rivas. Drop the bunt? Possibly. Let's go Mariners. And like I mentioned multiple times on the stream, make sure you guys are taking care of your mental health. It's the most important thing you can do every single day that you wake up. Addiction, depression, anxiety, these are things that not only I've gone through, but some of y'all are going through it now or have in the past. Make minor adjustments to your daily routine, exercise more, eat healthier, listen to 30 minutes of music, spend time with friends, family, and pets. You do those basic things, you'll come out the other side a little bit quicker, and you can help yourself win the day. Let's go, baby. Let's get it done here. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. See if we can get to 40 likes before the stream ends. Let's see where we're at. We've been gaining quite a few subs in the last 2 days. We're at 31, 9 more to go to 40, 4 more to go to 35. We got another one and another one. Now we're at 32. 3 more to 35, 8 more to 40. Let's go, baby. And then we're at 10, 90 to go on the dono train. Next up is Hollywood Josh Rojas pitch hitting. And we got Cal coming up as well. Good decision, Dan Wilson. I like that. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Rojas popped up, but it's staying in play. Shit. 1 away. And here we go. Coming in for Mitch Garver, the most clutch hitter for the Mariners in the 7th inning and beyond. It is big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go. Trident's up, baby. Come on, Cal. You can do it. "27 homers, 78 ribbies. Yeah, but the problem is Garver can't bunt correctly. I don't think he's good enough to drop a bunt down, and he's too slow to make it to first if it's not perfect. There's certain guys that you want guys to drop the bunt down. You know, it could be guys like JP and like Leo Rivas that got the speed, right? Or like a Demo. Or if it's going to be a guy like Luke Raley or Victor Robles, but you got to, you know, lay it down perfect so they don't think you're going to be laying down a bunt. They think you're going to be going for a home run or an RBI, and then you unexpectedly show bunt late, and then you might be able to get on, you know? But some of the guys are a little bit too, chubby to make it to first, I feel. Cal Raleigh. I mean, we don't really got any overweight players, but there's some guys that are a little bit bigger than the others, so. Let's go, Cal. One-two pitch. Big swing and a miss. Down goes Cal Raleigh. That stinks. 2 away. Big cutter at 99 miles an hour. Next up, shortstop Leo Rivas. Can Leo be the hero again? Pitch is low and into the dirt. 1-0 count. We might have to wait till the 9th inning to try to get that last run. Doesn't really feel like we're going to get it here in the 8th. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Let's see if Leo can draw a walk here. I mean, if you really want to get the fans out of their seat, hit your first home run of the season. You end up doing that right here. That'll get everyone jumping out of their seats. 2-0 pitch. Pitch is low and into the dirt. 3-0 count. He's approaching a walk here. And then maybe Luke Raley can knock him home. Luke Raley, 2-run jack after we get a walk here by Rivas. Leo to Luke. What do you say? 3-0 pitch. Pitch is inside on the corner for a strike. 3 balls and 1 strike to Leo Rivas. Come on, Mariners. Don't give up. They gained 2 more subs. On the corner for a strike. Now we only need 91 subs to be able to get to 20,500. We've gained 20 in the last 2 days. Let's go. Let's keep it moving. 3-2 pitch to Rivas. And big swing and a miss. Got him. 1, 2, 3 there for the Giants, and now we have to pray that we can hold them to nothing, and we can get 1 in the bottom of the 9th to tie it up, and we can get 1 in the 10th to win 5-4. That's how it will play out. All right, let's see who the Giants have up next to see if they can get a little bit of insurance on the Seattle Mariners here. Next up for the Giants, 0 for 3 with a base on ball, left fielder Michael Conforto. Batting second, 1 for 3 with an RBI, third baseman Matt Chapman, who's leading in most of the statistical offensive categories for the Giants. Arguably their best player besides Lamont Wade Jr. And batting third, having himself a day, 3 for 4 with a run and an RBI, right fielder Mike Yastrzemski. Hopefully we can find a way to get out of this inning. Let's go, baby. Come on, Mariners. Let's see what we got going in. Is Thornton still going to be pitching, or are we going to have someone else? I would prefer to have someone else than Thornton. We don't really want to have him, but uh-oh. They're bringing in Sauce. Uh-oh. If it's usually 1 out, right, Sauce can get out of it. But typically when Sauce comes in with 2 outs or 3 outs or to start an inning, 9 times out of 10, lately, it's been disaster. So let's fucking pray. However you want to do it. And hopefully the sports gods will make this work. But I don't know if I really would want Sauce out right here. But even though he's been struggling, we'll still throw up a photo. Come on, Sauce. Pitches outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch in the zone. Should have been for a strike. Called ball. 3 balls and 1 strike. Doesn't get the call there. Three-one pitch. There we go. Got a strike there. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, Sauce. Come on, baby. Get him out. Mark Canha in the box. 3-2 pitch from Sauce. Popped up. Should be a routine play for Julio in center field. 1 away. There we go. Good job, Sauce. There you go. 2 more outs. Don't fuck it up here. Sauce always looks sleepy, like he just woke up after playing video games for 14 hours straight. Wake up, Sauce. Next up is Matt Chapman. First pitch to Chapman on the corner. Should have been called ball, but called strike. 0-1 count. We'll take that, even though it should have been a ball. Top of the 9th, 4-3 Giants. We need to hold them to 4 if we have any chance of winning tonight. 0-1 pitch. Sauce to Chapman. 1 ball and 1 strike. But at least we do have Cal Raleigh in the game now for Garver, so that'll help Sauce out tremendously. Instead of Sauce throwing to Garver, that would be bad. Pitch is outside for a ball, but called strike. Ump giving us some bullshit calls here late in the matchup. Definitely off the plate, not in the zone for Matt Chapman, who voices his concern. 1-2 pitch from Sauce to Chapman. Pitch is inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, Mariners. 2-2 pitch popped up. Should be a routine play for the Mariners here. At first base, Justin Turner is there. 2 away. Hell yeah, Sauce. This is the best that I've seen Sauce play in a minute. Good job. You're not giving up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 runs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. Good job. Next up, right fielder having himself a day, Mike Yastrzemski. Get his ass out and let's win this game. It's rally time. Brian Wu and Robbie Ray tomorrow. Can't wait. 0-1 pitch. Popped up. There we go. Sauce does a great job getting us out of the fucking inning to give us a chance. Polo is there. That is the best that Sauce has done in a long fucking time. Nice job. Hell yeah. Good job, Sauce. We haven't been able to say that in over like 2 months. Nice job. You even get the Mariner Moose out there with you. Wow. Okay. All right, here we go. Time to rally. Last chance for the Mariners to get 1 run to tie, 2 runs to win. And if we have to get 1 and try to get 1 in the 10th and win 5-4, we'll take that. Whatever way we can win for Dan is what we're trying to do. And the Astros lost today, so we need to take advantage of that as much as we can. Let's go. See who's up next here for the Mariners and see if we actually have a chance here in the bottom of the 9th. Leading off for the Mariners, 0 for 2 with a run RBI and 2 base on balls. Filling in for Victor Robles, right fielder Luke Raley. Batting second, 1 for 2 with an RBI and 2 base on balls. Getting closer to hitting his first home run in a long time, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. And batting third, 0 for 3 with a base on ball and 2 Ks, first baseman JT Red Turner, Justin Turner. Let's go. Let's go JT. Let's go Big Red. Let's go Julio. Let's go J-Rod. Let's go Rails. Let's go Nuke Rayleigh. Let's get it. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. And we gained another sub. Now we only need 90. Appreciate you. 90 subs to go, and we just hit 20,000. That got over the 20,400 number, and now we're only 90 away from 20,500. Let's go. 20 plus subs in the last 12 hours. Let's go. Let's go. Time to rally. Come on, Mariners. We already had the game of the year yesterday. We're just trying to be able to find a way to win here today. Win it for Dan. We got Ryan Walker coming out to try to save the game for the Giants. Let's go, Luke. First pitch to Luke Rayleigh on the corner for a strike, 0-1 count. Bottom of the 9th, 4-3 Giants. Nobody on, nobody out. 0-1 count from Walker to Rayleigh. 0 for 2 with 2 walks, an RBI, and a run. That one chopped foul and crushed, finding the count 0-2. Chop foul. Let's go behind the count 0-2. Come on, Luke. Oh, 2 pitch from Walker to Rayleigh. Got him. What a pitch by Walker. One away. Nothing for Luke. That's all right, buddy. We still love you. Next up, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Bring that electricity, baby. You're due for a home run or a big hit, and hopefully we can get it here. Come on, J-Rod. Start off the rally for us. Trident's up. Pitch right down the middle for a strike. 0-1 count. 1 for 2 with a double, 2 walks, and an RBI. Come on, Julio. We got Robbie Ray and Brian Wu tomorrow. Same time, same place, 1 o'clock Pacific. So hopefully you guys will be able to come through and make it as well. 259 average, 11 homers, and 39 ribbies. And a disappointing season for Julio Rodriguez, but as of late, he's been getting a little bit better since coming back from that high ankle sprain injury where he missed about a month. Come on, Mariners. O2 pitch from Walker to Julio. Come on, J-Rod. Pitch is outside. Good eye, Julio. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Julio Rodriguez. One-two pitch, Walker to Julio. Right down the middle, takes a strike 3 looking. 2 away. Fuck. We're down to our last out now. Not looking good. Next up, 0 for 3. With a base on ball and 2 Ks, first baseman Justin Turner. We need a miracle now. Takes the pitch looking. 0-1 count. Come on, Mariners, swing. Bottom of the 9th, 4-3 Giants. Nobody on, 2 outs. 0-1 count from Walker to Turner. And Walker has been money coming into the game here in the bottom of the 9th. He has been fantastic. Just blowing it past Luke, blowing it past Julio, and I would assume he'll blow it past JT. You know, sometimes we feel a rally is coming, but I don't know. It might be too little too late for the Mariners now. 1 ball and 2 strikes, but I know we can win with Wu tomorrow, and then that would mean we would win 2 out of 3, but it sucks when you lose by a run because you feel like you could have won this game. Come on, Turner. Come on, JT. Continue the rally. Come on. 1-2 pitch. Turner. Blooper, yes. Nice at bat there for JT. There you go. Don't be the guy that ends the game. You know, continue the game. There we go. Nice job, JT. Bring that electricity. We're not dead yet. We're not dead in the water yet. Let's go. Nice job. Next up, left fielder, Randy Arozarena. Let's go, Randy. Be a hero. Come on, Mariners. Dig deep. Pitches inside, almost hits Randy. 1-0 count. I would love for us to be able to take a walk at some point if we can continue this rally, or we might get lucky and get hit by a pitch. 1-0 pitch. Randy. That's the ball game. That's a terrible pitch to be swinging at. Those last couple by Randy is terrible. You're not going to get it even past the infield. Final score, Giants 4, Mariners 3. This one hurts a little bit, but at least we won yesterday with Dan Wilson making his debut. And again, 4 runs, 7 to 10 hits is the magic number. We had 3 runs, 4 hits. They had 4 runs, 11 hits. No errors for both teams. But hopefully tomorrow will be a little bit better. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do on your way out. And final score, Giants 4, Seattle Mariners 3. And I will be live tomorrow, same time, same place. Robbie Ray, the former Mariner, going against our ace, Brian Wu. I will be watching the Seahawks and the Browns. later tonight at 7, but I'm going to spend some time with Paisley Pup and maybe eat a little bit of a late lunch. I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Thank you for coming through and showing love. We've gained about 20 subs in the last 2 days, and hopefully tomorrow we'll get the dub with Brian Wu on the mound. And I got one question for you. Who you know talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Enjoy that college football and NFL preseason, and I'm out. Gang.